1-0. 1-0, and they take that lead into the second leg.
And the second half is about to begin. Welcome to a Grandstand special, a game which could make football history in Australia as the Socceroos take on Uruguay for the right to compete at the biggest sporting event of them all, the World Cup. Footy drama on Grandstand. Oh, yes, it doesn't get much better than this. What a match. Australia against Uruguay, the second leg after Uruguay won the first leg in Montevideo 1-0. Australia's got to win by a couple of goals. Let's take you straight to the Olympic Stadium in Sydney and Peter Wilkins.
Well, there is the applause for the Australian and Uruguayan teams that have come out onto Stadium Australia. And we're zoning in on the kickoff time. They're now lined out in formation, ready for the national anthems. And there's an extraordinary din. And everybody is now upstanding. The Uruguayan national anthem to be sung by Daniel Balgeri, recommended by the Montevideo Consulate. Diego Lugano applauding the version, applauding his own fans, and listen to the response. Apparently there has been a little trouble on the way to the ground. We hope that doesn't occur in victory or defeat, as the Australian national anthem to be sung by Jade McRae. Everybody upstanding, 82,000 people. Sideline, Aaron Carney. Aaron?
I have an unofficial report of some of the problems that the Uruguayans faced. My information is they only arrived here about 40 minutes ago under police escort with sirens and lights from the eastern suburbs. Exactly what was the delay, I'm not sure, but they have only been here at the Olympic Stadium for about 45 minutes.
Well, they made kick-off. That's what they're here for. And just amazing scenes here, Peter Wilkins. Behind the Southern goal, the Fanatics have unfurled the biggest replica shirt I've seen in a long time. And before that, they unfurled the biggest Australian flag I've seen in a long time. Just remarkable scenes. And remarkable noise.
And the Australians now run over towards us on the western grandstand side and go through their paces after posing for the photograph. There's such a din. No one could hear themselves speak out there. That was similar last week at the Centenario Stadium, of course, and even more so 4 years ago. But tonight it is an atmosphere to rival that, and one of the most extraordinary atmospheres seen at an Australian sporting contest over the last how many years. Tony Popovich goes on a little bit of a sprint across field. What a performance from him the other day. One game in 5 months, and he put in the full 92-minute effort, and there he is limbering up. Brett Emerton, the only man to have played in all of the Socceroos matches at this Stadium Australia, and he scored a couple of times too. He had a taste of the goal. Is that going to be an influence here tonight? The home factor felt by a good number of these Australian players. It's the Uruguayans' first tilt at this Stadium Australia, and I'll tell you what, that anthem and the response to them would have just sent a little bit of fear. They love playing at home. They don't like playing away too much. And so we're just about ready for this kickoff.
And the occasion's got to me already, Wilco, because I got my directions completely wrong there. It's the fans behind the northern goal who have been setting this place alight so far, but they've got plenty of compatriots here. The referee and his assistants check the nets of the goals, make sure everything is in readiness. The players have taken up their formations. A couple of last-minute handshakes, wishes of well-being and good luck going around both teams.
And we welcome listeners through Western Australia and the Northern Territory. Good to have you on board. Peter Wilkins, Andy Harper and Aaron Carney. The referee, Luis Medina Cantaleo from Spain, and his Spanish assistant referees, Pedro Medina and Victoriano Giraldez. And the fourth official, Julian Rodriguez Santiago. We're about to see the kickoff. This World Cup qualifier, there it is, game underway, and the Australians with the ball, and already the ball back to Schwarzer, and he's going to be forced for a long kick out as Popovich has sent it all the way back to him. The long ball downfield and a bit of a charge in the middle. It's play on. Kulina releases that out on the right to Vidmar, floats a long ball. Viduka onside, but it's not going to go to him. It's going to bounce clear, is it? It goes all the way deep into the corner and allowed to go over the touchline as Bresciano chases. An electric atmosphere, early moments of this match at Stadium Australia, and the Celeste shirts and the black shorts in great contrast this evening as Australia have it on the halfway, in possession, back to Lucas Neal. Some nervous touches in the first game, that looks more confident. Oh, but that doesn't. It was Vince Grella pumping the ball. The intended recipient was Scott Chipperfield. It went into touch on the western side, right on halfway, so a throw in to Uruguay. No score on the board. Early moments of this match at Stadium Australia as Diogo has the ball and not happy with the constitution of it. He said it needs a bit more air, sir.
Well, that's the second ball that the referees have looked to change, and you can't say that it's gamesmanship because the referees interjected the first time to change the ball, so there was obviously a problem. But it's Diogo who takes the throw now.
And up goes Morales, but he was beaten from behind by Chipperfield. Ball out again for the tentative early moments. The crowd just a din waiting to explode currently, and we'll hear a little bit more about those problems confronting the Uruguayans on the way to the ground. But Uruguay with a throw-in, well, they're taking an eternity just to get the ball thrown in. Off the bench is the Uruguayan coach, Jorge Fossati, as Diogo spins the ball around in the right hand, looking to throw it in. Varela jinking upfield. Quick throw into Rakova, nods it back down to Diogo. Tries a little 1-2, but in effecting the tackle is Chipperfield, and Australia pinned back in their own zone at the moment as another throw-in. The third consecutive throw-in goes to Uruguay. And Well, again, the ball is tardy coming. What's going on? This match is being played at a snail's pace. On the touchline, Aaron, what's going on down there?
They've sent 2 balls back up the tunnel with orders to pump them up further, so they're working with minimal balls available on this western touchline at the moment. The assistant referee has the only one that's in use. Another one's just been returned from the crowd, but the Uruguayans have a problem with it as well, apparently.
Well, this is ridiculous, because the referee should have checked this before the game. Absolutely farcical start to this match. Plays into the hands of Uruguay early doors.
And Uruguay have it through Varela. Knocks it back to Diogo. Back to Varela. Good play. Tries to knock it over the top of Popovic. Beautiful skills from Popovic to Grella. Little just one-off pass there under some pressure. But Australia still in their own half. Finally, the ball is pumped deep and over the other side. And a challenge for the ball. Emerton goes up. He might win it here, as up high in the air was Guillermo Rodriguez, but he couldn't actually secure possession. And now we're going to see Richard Morales brought down in a free kick to Australia about 30, or rather Uruguay, I should say, about 38 metres out from the goal mark. And Schwarzer, he stands with some poise. Rakoba, he's a long way out. Gee, would he chance one here? And Rakoba, no, it's a hard shot, and it bounces, and it almost comes back there to the charging player, but it beat him on the fly. That was on the bounce, and it skidded off the slightly slippery turf as Garcia has it in the middle of the field. Bresciano robs him, and so a nervous start on halfway from both sides, really, but that was a venomous free kick from a long way out, and a player has been taken down on the far side, and Vidmar is the culprit. The referee says, hey, what's going on? As it was Guillermo Rodriguez who went down as though he was taken out by an axe. The referee just awarding the free kick. So high tension in the early moments of this match as we watch this free kick in the centre. Several players battling for the ball. It's a high ball, far post. It was knotted out of the path of Diogo by Chipperfield. He had to be at full stretch to get that ball from the man lurking at the far post. And it is a corner kick, so a very, very tentative start to Australia.
Indeed, Pete, very tentative start. Rakoba making his way very slowly to take the corner. And the opening exchange is all going with Uruguay. Their first job, it seems obvious, is to take the sting out of the opposition and the sting out of the crowd. I thought Schwarzer probably could have come to that cross. It was in the air for a long time.
Well, now the corner, and this was where Australia suffered in the first game. It's another wicked one, and they go up. Ball popped up high. Schwarzer, it's his. Schwarzer inside the 6-yard box. It was a looping header in high, and it went perhaps 3 or 4 metres up in the air before coming down safely onto the fingertips of Schwarzer, who now releases the ball to Lucas Neal, 20 metres from halfway. Ball inside to Grella, and his pass poor under pressure, and they concede the throw-in. So great nerves from Australia. They haven't settled down. They haven't had any period of possession so far, and Uruguay with all of the possession. No score on the board, and we've had just a few minutes of play in the first half so far. 5.5 in fact, and it's been all Uruguay, barely a possession at the other end of the field. Now's perhaps a chance for Australia to consolidate, to try and move forward, as it's taken away in the midfield by Kalina, lays it back, and a nice layoff coming there from Grella to Vidmar, and a ball through to Emerton. Too much pace. He was sprinting, a long sprint towards the edge of the box. The ball, though, trying to get him on the angle. Too much weight on the pass.
Yeah, but very good intent, signs of intent from Australia there. Brett Emerton, as soon as Tony Vidmar picked that ball up in the right fullback position, Brett Emerton immediately was looking to get past the left fullback, and that's a great sign. Australia have to give as good as they get here, Wilco. They have to pin Uruguay back, and both sides will be trying to do just that in these opening exchanges. And the referee's called play on. Viduka steals the ball.
And Viduka charges away towards goal. He's 20 metres out. He'll try the shot. No, he lays it to Kale. Kale onside. Is he brought down here? No, he's offside. And he went offside. He was clipped by Garcia on the way back. Let's go down to the sideline. And Aaron.
Peter, the pitch is really playing a factor in this game early. You said about the difficult take for Schwartz. It is a case of replace your divots in the midfield as well. Some big chunks of grass being brought up. And as you see, a couple of attempted passes have gone way past the player. This waxy surface, a little bit of water really is skidding.
Well, now it's Carini with the long, high ball out. Lucas Neal underneath it. Morales slightly beats him in the air, but it falls free to Australia. And back to Vidmar. At 25 from halfway, looks upfield, assesses, sends it to Bresciano. A nice little bit of control there for Bresciano. And on to Emerton again. Twists and turns. A pirouette back to Bresciano. Getting themselves in a little bit of a trouble. And now they release it back. Along the back three, it goes to Neal. Or poor pass downfield, but fortuitously, no, it comes back. And it's still there at the feet of Neal almost. But Richard Morales gives away a free kick. So Australia not that conclusive at that end of the field. Bresciano works the right. Chips it forward. Looks for Emerton. Nods it inside. Kale's a little bit far away from the ball. Garcia reefs it down. It's knocked down off Guillermo Rodriguez, and it goes out of play at Australian throw in on the halfway line. No score on the board as yet, and we've had just 7 minutes and 49 seconds of play. Viduka, nice touch back it is, but we're going to see an offside call against Viduka. And so the back line for Uruguay, the Celeste, coming right up, and Viduka just thought it was a regulation tap back, trying to put Kale in a good position. He was ruled offside. Ball out wide now on the right to Diogo. Tries to chip it forward over the head of Chipperfield, but he nods it into touch. Good interception. Right on halfway, Uruguay. The run comes for Varela, and he's going to tap it back to Diogo. Beautiful skill, just checked it inside of the challenging Chipperfield, and then scoops it away from Grella and almost away from Kalina as well. But the ball bounces free. It needed basically three to take it off one man with consummate skill. And so it's going to be Diogo throwing the ball in. Knocks it back, does Recoba, and out of play. A little bit of an error, and just puts the arm up to Alvaro Recoba and says, sorry, my man.
And the first one from Uruguay. They've looked very composed, winning their one-on-one battles with the ball at their feet, which is a pattern that Australia won't want to see develop through this game. They're getting all the favours from the referees. Another free kick now as Varela goes down, brought down by Scott Chipperfield, just short of halfway for Uruguay. But they've started very well, La Celeste. Very well indeed. All the territory, the more composed on the ball. And Australia struggling to assert themselves at these early stages. Still only 10 minutes gone, a long way to go. But the opening rounds, one would have to say, Peter, have gone to La Celeste, the Uruguay team.
Well, this might be a break for Australia. Dario Rodriguez tried the long ball. It was knocked down, and the ball, though, goes all the way through to keeper Carini after Australia looking to control it just on the opposition side of halfway. Couldn't quite make it count, but it did bounce to them after Dario Rodriguez, his long ball, had ricocheted off in Australia. Now they work it back to the right side through Lugano and Diogo. Garcia's there for him, but it goes back to Diogo, slides it off the outside of the hook and the foot, and there was a good challenge by Chipperfield. The referee says we'll have the throw in. Varela went down in a cagey sort of fashion. But we're going to see the throw in now to Uruguay. Diogo 35 metres out from the Australian goal line. Here's Varela again trying the skill. Gets past one. And then he was brought down, was he, by Chipperfield? The referee has a little bit of a look, so he grabbed him. And another dangerous situation for Australia. 18 metres out from the goal line. And Recoba again with his wicked left foot. Will he try one from here? Schwartz is singing at Bresciano to look for some sort of parry or to get out of his way. They're all clumping, waiting for the flying header on the far post. And Recoba is going to fire this ball in. Richard Morales is in there, the tall timber as well. They're jostling for position, edge of the box, danger for Australia. Recoba taking an eternity. The run's coming. Oh, there's a big football tackle, and the referee's going to call a couple of players out.
Well, the referee's got his hands full here, and you'd expect no less. I mean, in the centre of Australia's penalty area, in anticipation of this Recoba free kick, it is a rugby scrum in there. Players jostling for position, plenty of handfuls of shirt being pulled from both sets of players and trying to get that advantage. Of course, Australia will be on tenterhooks in these situations. It's from exactly this position where they conceded their goal 4 days ago in Montevideo. Recoba lines up now.
Now, all the runs coming. Here's Recoba, fires it in, looking for the head on. Somehow it goes over the goal line with Tony Popovic streaming in and a number of green and gold shirts. But that looked venomous again from Recoba.
He's deadly, but that was fantastic defending from Popovic. Committed, determined, cleared the ball. It's another corner, however, for Uruguay.
Well, the danger not gone, and Recoba fires it in, and it just goes wide. Oh, Lugano with the touch, and that was ever so close. Oh dear, a glancing header, and it went just wide of the far post.
Again, Schwarzer came, but not with enough venom. Logano holds his head with a chance that really could have put the cat amongst the pigeons as far as Australia's concerned. Diego Logano, the 24-year-old, plays for Sao Paulo Football Club in the First Division in Brazil. Nearly put his country a foot closer to the World Cup.
Well, now Australia, or Bresciano, might have the ball here, does he? Can he get past Logano? He concedes a corner, does Montero, in fact. Paulo Montero concedes the corner, and Australia at the other end of the crowd in full voice for the first time tonight. And they move in numbers. Well, can they challenge as Uruguay did? Popovic is in there, so too Chipperfield and Kyle and Viduka. And the big men, near post they go, headed away. Is it going to come through to Kalina? No, it's not. It's hooked away by Reguera, and back with Australia it is now. All the way back to Lucas Neal, 6 metres in his own half. Puts the ball forward onto the feet of Vidmar now, operating in a forward role for just a minute. A long ball pumped into Popovic, leaps high for the header. Can't get to it. It's still there. Long shot comes in. Oh, the save is made. It was a terrific attempt, though. A terrific attempt from
Tony Vidmar. Vidmar straight knocked the ball long into the penalty area and got the crumbs from the cleared header and drilled a shot, which Carini had to stretch to his left to save. And good hands from the Uruguay number one. Very nice soft hands in a very difficult situation.
Well, now the headers go up just on the other side of halfway, pushing the back. Free kick to Uruguay, 30 metres out.
Well, the same position as Recoba's first free kick, which really stung the hands of keeper Schwarzer. And we can expect this one to trace a similar locker straight towards the Australian goal.
Well, here comes Recoba now, fires it in, looking for Morales. Here, and it goes across goal from the boot of Diogo. He was lurking about 10, 11, 12 metres to the right of the uprights in sort of line with the 6-yard box, and he volleyed it, and it went across the face of goal. Out of harm's way, but really just begged another Uruguayan head to get in the way.
Well, it's the variety of Recoba's free kicks. He can either smash them and they go like a tracer bullet, or he can whip them and they've got so much curl on them it's very difficult to deal with. Or as with that last one, just a little chip to the far post, and it's got the defenders guessing one of the three each time.
Still no score on the board, and we've had 14 and a half minutes of play in the first half. It feels like the longest 14 and a half minutes you'd ever see in a football game. Plenty has happened. Now Chipperfield, he's going to get the 1-2, is he? Too much weight from Grella, and back is Logano. He slips and falls, and it's going to be a throw in Australia. 15 metres out from the northern end of the ground. Back to Grella now. He's about 30 metres out. Right foot tries the low, hard ball forward. Australia's going to get it back, though. Back to Grella. It ricochets to him, to Bresciano. Feeds it forward to Viduka on the stretch. Couldn't control it. Still there. Kyle leaps high. Here comes Chipperfield. Brought down edge of the box. Brought down. Free kick.
And I'll tell you what, Wilco, if this team needs the 12th, 13th player, they've got it with this crowd. You can look around the stadium and Australian fans are urging their compatriots on to bring this team home. They've done it tough in the first 15 minutes. Uruguay have really controlled proceedings, but Chipperfield brought down on the edge of the box by Carlos Diogo there, and they have a real chance right on the edge of the box. And Marco Bresciano steps up. He's standing over the ball. From the set pieces, from an Australian viewpoint, you'd want no one else at this stage.
Well, here is Marco Bresciano. He scored some vital goals. We can see an opening too. We're right behind him. I'm sure he can see it. I'm sure he can see it in the top right-hand corner. Will he go there or for a header far post? He moves in, drives it, hits it over the crossbar. A good strike too. And it was straight over the head of Carini, the keeper. He would have had a play at it had it gone a little bit lower, but it was the firmness of it which sort of encourages you should that occur again.
Yeah, it's a good strike, but really he needs to at least find the target there, even if not with so much pace, because the goalkeeper would have been sweating blood there, and for the ball to sail harmlessly over the goal really lets Uruguay off the hook. That was a moment where we needed to sting the goalkeeper's hands and put their defence under some serious pressure. As it is, they've taken the goal kick now, Uruguay. And surprise, surprise, they've got another free kick from their referee. Richard Morales is getting an absolute gift of a series of free kicks from this referee at the moment.
And that was for a good interception, it looked like, from Grella, who just knocked the ball out from from Morales, but the foot too high was the ruling, and so the referee says play on now. Here's Recoba dancing towards the defence, sends it back to Garcia. Out on the right is Logano. Ball not really good for him, although he missed it. Has to track along that edge of the field, and a good tackle by Grella. He cleans up again, Vince Grella, and already he looks as though he's having a good game tonight. There's the ball from the throw into Logano, traps it on the foot. The short ball back to Diogo, tries the 1-2. It's pretty good, although coming to guard it now is Neil. Ball somehow finds its way across the field on the edge of the 6-yard box. Danger not gone. Logano tackle from behind successfully. Australia, a bit of a chance for a quick release, but no, it's going to be a free kick to Australia. The referee calling it up, I think, and Chipperfield remonstrating, saying, why didn't you allow play to go on? Was that the case on the sideline, Aaron?
Absolutely, Wilco, and the gamesmanship is on for young and old down here. Recoba is absolutely walking alongside the referee, barking instructions in his ear at all points. Very interesting body language on the Australian bench as well. Who's hitting has stood leaning on the edge of his dugout saying next to nothing. Graham Arnold, the assistant, has been the man screaming all the action.
Well, a long back pass doesn't find the right target in Lucas Neal, but it does to Mark Schwarzer from Popovic, and they work now out to the right side to Tony Vidmar, the veteran of 4 World Cup qualifying campaigns. Oh, that's a searing ball forward. He finds DeLuca. The knock on to Emerton is good. He lays it back now. Brilliant shot it was. Oh, sensational drive. But it comes back in. Has it gone dead now? It's gone out of play. Oh, unbelievable stuff. And Bresciano again with a miraculous sort of hit. It's a corner kick. Best move of the game so far. And a sprawling save.
Well, it's a terrific save from Carini again, and a good move from Australia. I would have liked Emerton to have tested the keeper himself, but it was Bresciano in the end.
Now here it comes, long ball, far post, and over the head of Vidmar. He saw it for a moment. Oh, unbelievable stuff from the Australians, and that was their best move of the game so far. And well, it's Kalina actually the shot. My apologies there.
And he did a fantastic job, Carini. That's twice now. And Australia, after those first 15 minutes, have had the last 2 good passages of play, exactly what they needed for their confidence. And Uruguay, well, the question for them is if they can keep the pace up, because they're pressing Australia as far up the park as Australia can get the ball.
Oh, here's Recoba, free, Recoba, 1-on-1, shoots, oh, he misses, oh no, how did he miss?
Exactly.
It bounced free into the box, he charged after the ball, his hands are behind the head, and you'd see him make that 99 times out of 100. Schwarzer was just a sitting duck for the shot, and he hit it wide of the left post. Oh, the omens. Do they continue to mount? Here's Bresciano in centre field. Again, a purposeful ball forward to Tim Cahill. Back it goes now to Kalina, who was responsible for that great shot. He releases it down the right to Vidmar. Then to Emerton. Emerton charges, but back there is Rodriguez to hold the ball at the feet. And Emerton, is he going to... Oh, he guards it all the way. Is it still in? No, it's a goal kick. It's a goal kick, says the assistant referee. Well, some breathless activity at both ends. Australia with a great movement and a fine shot by Kalina. And then at the other end, 1-on-1, Recoba. He had the goal at his mercy.
Well, you would have put your house on Alvaro Recoba there. Absolutely put your house on him. Richard Morales again, the 1.96 metre tall centre forward, won the header on the halfway line. Tony Vidmar couldn't clean up the crumbs, and Recoba was away with the whole goal to aim at and only the keeper to beat, and he hit it wide, and you still can't believe it.
Well, here Australia again, the nod back comes from Lucas Neal into safe hands of Schwarzer. Well, he didn't have to make a save on that occasion. 20 minutes and 41 seconds gone in the first half. No score on the board as yet. Long ball downfield, taken on the chest, and it's going to be a free kick to Australia for a push in the back.
Yeah, it's a good option for Australia. You don't like often to encourage long balls to Viduka, but Uruguay's defence, Peter, is pushing so high up the field that there is a big gap between their defence and their midfield. Australia dropping the ball into that space and letting Viduka use his body. Logano, all he can do is foul him in that situation, and that's what we just had a case there. Bresciano on the ball.
Now Marco Bresciano, about 35 metres out, tries to find a player in the box. Popovic, it goes high up in the air on the edge. Grella goes in, it grazes his head on the way down. Hooked over the top by Reguero, only as far as Vidmar. Back now, and it's hooked forward by Rodriguez, and it goes out of play. That's Guillermo Rodriguez with the number 6 on the back, and it's going to be a Uruguayan throw-in, 25 metres from the halfway line, and the crowd really pulsing in behind the players tonight. Aaron Carney on the sideline.
Enormous and well-educated crowd as well, it's got to be said. Wilco, because they are really getting on the referees' back. They are applauding every bit of positivity from Australia and getting right on Uruguay as well. Here go the Aussies.
And Grella with a loose ball forward. The idea right, application not so perfect. And Australia toying with it in the middle of the field now. And Kalina again having another good impact game tonight. He's looked purposeful in what he's done. Plays it back to Neil. Surveys forward. Plays it low and hard. That's a bad pass from Bresciano, but it comes back to Neil again, who charges up the centre. Bresciano says, I'll have it. Releases a 10-metre pass forward, and it goes to Emerton. Emerton lays it back, so they're going back and forward and back and forward. And now Bresciano, square pass across field to Kale. Does well to reach out and pull it in. And now Grella releases Chipperfield on the left, although the interception comes from Diogo. Diogo forward to Richard Morales on halfway. Uruguay now pouring forward in some numbers. Varela, he releases it out to the right edge of the field. No score on the board. Diogo forward now to Rakoba. Turns, two in front. Ball on the left foot. And they come at him, and a legitimate winning of the ball, but it goes through to Garcia, so it was to no effect. Ball back now to Rodriguez on halfway, left side of the park. He works out there, trying to work a 1-2 with Rogera, and it goes instead way out wide on the right to Rodriguez. That's Guillermo, and all the way back to Paulo Montero. So controlled football at the moment from Uruguay. Long ball off the left foot, way out of the right edge of the field now through Diogo. Looks for the 1-2, and a good challenge from Chipperfield is successful. It comes free to Australia. Viduka trying to chip it back over the head of Uruguay. Appeal for handball. Uruguay pull forward through Varela. Is he brought down? Grella says no, and another challenge comes on Richard Morales, this time from Popovic, and the throw-in is going to go to Australia. So two good pieces of defensive work, although Varela is down injured, complaining, and the Spanish referee allowing some latitude, but I tend to believe him here. Listen to the crowd here, exhorting Varela to get up, you big sook, they're saying.
Or whatever that is in Spanish. I think the referee just said it the same. But a great passage of play from Uruguay. They took the sting out of Australia's ascendancy. Some good possession play, and in tight, Peter, they're very difficult to negotiate. You know, their touch is so good. Their short passing and 1-2s in those little triangles and 10-metre areas, very difficult to counter. And then you have the big man at the back, Logano, who, a.k.a. the Aussie rules, was right up the back of Mark Viduka there. And it's a free kick for Australia. They're about 40 metres out from goal. Bresciano takes the ball and places it again. And Australia, with numbers, making their way into the Uruguayan penalty area. It's a fascinating start to this match.
Well, no score on the board, and Bresciano again lurks over the ball with great intent. Hands on hips, surveys the target forward. Chipperfield's near post, doesn't waste any time. Tips for the far post there. Carini goes up, safe take. Good fingers again, just on the edge of his 6-yard box and a couple of metres to the left of the post. And now there's going to be a claim against Tim Kale. Well, he claimed he was chopped. We don't want any of that. Ball quickly played over the halfway. It comes back to Garcia. 15 inside his own half for Uruguay. No score in this match. Australia needing to win by at least 1-0 to get it to extra time and penalties, or 2 clear goals otherwise. But no goals as yet. Chances at both ends as we see Diogo skating across. Sends it away to Rodriguez. That's Dario. And he releases it from the centre of the field out to the right on halfway. Varela. Quick one touch, but a nice foot up in the air. Sends it into touch from Scott Chipperfield, and the ball is going to be thrown in by Uruguay, and the crowd just abate a bit in their intensity, their enthusiasm, as we watch Uruguay moving upfield. Reguero's there, so too Morales on the halfway, and the referee having a bit of a chat to a couple of protagonists, the 2 captains, perhaps Viduka and Montero. The throw-in's about to be taken. Comical start to this game with the football's not the right weight. Here's Rakoba now. Plays it back to Diogo on the edge of the field to the right. Sends a low scuttling ball into the centre, looking for a man. Morales has to chase way out to the left to pick it up. Back heels it, and will he get possession back? Yes, he does, but enough. Green and gold shirts back to secure possession, and it's Emerton back helping. Neil coolly back to Emerton. He's going to be squeezed for room here, so elects a quick release. High, floated, downfield. The nod on from Viduka. Chasing is Tim Kale, but again, Dario Rodriguez intercepts and pumps it downfield. 1-touch football at the moment, and it comes to Australia. Grella, little bit of space, and a square ball about 30 metres wide to Chipperfield. Knocks it 1-touch back on the inside to Grella. Grella stands on it just outside the centre circle. Moves it across to Bresciano. Then back on the inside it goes, and looking for Viduka is Kalina, and he can't find him. And look at the clump of Uruguayan shirts, and Rakoba breaks free. Goes on a bit of a dribble. Subtle, beautiful touch to Reguero, who's tackled from behind, and that's going to be, no, it should be a free kick, but the referee says no. I think that was a free kick to Uruguay. Tackle from behind. Australia have possession. Jim Cahill into the side. Sends it out to Emerton, giving them some width on the right side. 30 metres out now on the charge. Checks his stride. Sends the pass back. It comes to Bresciano. In the centre it's Grella. Knocks it forward to Cahill. Pressured from behind by Garcia. It falls to Recoba. He's on the fly, Recoba. Oh, Popovic just comes at him and takes him out. And it's going to be a yellow card. Yellow to Tony Popovic. He realised he didn't have the pace and he just went in swinging arms and body at Alvaro Recoba, who looks like he's been felled in the prairies of South America somewhere.
Well, he did cop one in the chops. Tony Popovic gave that one up very early in the piece and just made a beeline for Recoba. And Uruguay will take note of that, because so far out from goal with a good side at the ball for Tony Popovic to have so visibly struggled to get there, I think Uruguay will just have a little jot of that one in their notebook. But Australia falling into the trap at the moment of not using enough width in the match. Vince Grella's turned the possession over once or twice too often. And Uruguay are funneling Australia into the centre where they have the numbers, and they're stealing the ball. Viduka's finding himself, Peter, 1 versus 3 or 4 at a time with these balls speared in. Very difficult to control. And any crumbs that bounce off Viduka's feet are being picked up by the Uruguay midfielders, typically Garcia, who then releases Recoba, and that was the case we just had then. Recoba on the break, and Tony Popovic, who felt the only option he had was to scythe him down with a whack across the ankles and a chop to the chin with his elbow.
Aaron Carney on the sideline, the referee having a word to the bench, the Uruguayan bench. Jorge Fossati up, not happy.
They are up as one, and I think the Uruguayans might have just suffered a little from the boy who cried wolf. All this gamesmanship and going down when they weren't hurt. They just got studs in the calf and they got a smack in the chops, and probably Australia got away with it more than they should have because of all the earlier gamesmanship.
Guillermo Rodriguez for Uruguay. Back to Dario Rodriguez. Nodded inside. Looking for Aguera. Australia. Emerton with a decisive interception. It still falls for Australia. Beautiful offload by Kalina to Bresciano. Challenged in the back. Loses out. And Lugano pumps it forward. Taken down coolly on the chest by Vidmar. 10 inside his own half. Feeds it into the centre circle. Does Kalina. Away to Grella. Nice touching from the Australians. Cahill now. Back on the edge of the field to Vidmar. Vidmar sends it sprawling across the halfway line. And back outside the centre circle to Neil. Well, short ball forward. Somewhat dangerous, but he feeds it on beautifully to Bresciano. Good passage of possession from Australia as Emerton sprints across the park. Again sends it back. Kalina, nice skills on the ball. Feeds it forward to Grella in space. Grella 30 metres out. Nice touch inside of Viduka on the turn. Still with Australia. Emerton from 25 metres tries the chip, sort of half shot. It goes wide. A princely move from Australia, showing all their pedigree of control. It's just that the execution in the last 25 metres lacked a little bit of conviction.
The ball got stuck under Brett Emerton's foot and he couldn't get the purchase that he wanted, but the key to that passage of play, Wilco, was Jason Kalina with a beautiful change of direction. Australia have been a little bit predictable with the way they've moved the ball so far, which has enabled Uruguay to funnel them in, as we said, to that centre of the field, where they just then swarm on whoever is receiving the ball. Here's Morales again, receiving possession on halfway.
Well, they just allow Morales to chest the ball down, and then they say, we'll come at you because we can't beat you in the air, so you can have it. And the ball is tossed forward off the left foot. Back there again, challenging is Lucas Neal. Reguera bustling, 2 on him. It'll be a good effort if he manages to beat the 2, but he can't. And Tony Vidmar, the cool, experienced Vidmar, comes in with the tackle. And Harry Kuehl is warming up on the touchline, so this is an early intervention. And we're going to see a change made, so Gus Hiddink not waiting around, not hanging about to find out what mysteries are going to unravel here. He thinks Australia needs a change already, and they stream forward now, Australia. They're 20 from halfway, laid back and then pump forward quickly. Viduka sees Emerton again hugging the right on halfway, and the blue shirts, the Celeste, move backwards to cover the numbers quickly, and Australia forced to try and look for control rather than purposefully moving forward or at pace. Here's Kalina now, beautiful chip forward to Viduka. Chance for Viduka on the turn, and he tries the chip. He's offside again, and the experienced Uruguayan defence led by Paulo Montero coming to the fore and just causing Mark Viduka to be caught offside just outside the area.
Well, a fascinating substitution. Tony Popovic, after 25-30 minutes, is making way for Harry Kuehl, and the first card has been played by Gus Hiddink, and in no small measure did that last play on Recoba have the effect of what Gus Hiddink has seen in the decision-making process there.
Well, yes, in part he probably didn't want Popovic to be committed again to another foul, because he'd be left a man short and that would be diabolical. So there'll be a bit of reshuffling. Scott Chipperfield will drop back into that position.
I'll go to 4 at the back, Peter, already. Chipperfield's gone to a direct left back. Harry Kewell to wide left. And, well, fortune favours the brave. He didn't want Popovic carrying yellow cards, simply couldn't afford it with one of your defenders. And also the opportunity to get Harry Kewell in. The sting's gone out of the game. Now it's time for Harry. The stage is set.
And after 31.5 minutes, Harry Kewell on. Australia 0, Uruguay 0. If you've just joined the coverage, good evening. Just an incredible atmosphere at Stadium Australia as the bench. Aaron, what's happening down there again? It's the Uruguayan coach.
I think that somebody has just been asked to move off the Uruguayan bench. Certainly they've come up into the area where all the medical staff and the physios are, so they may have been ordered off the bench for repeated infringements from the sidelines.
Now Emerton dancing for Australia, 40 metres out. Back it goes to Kalina on halfway. He releases it back to Vidmar, forward to Grella, who comes back to meet him. A little bit of pressure, though, on Vidmar from Reguera. Forced to knock it back. He can't pick it up, Schwarzer, and a sort of ungainly-looking left-foot kick downfield. Can't find the head, and Uruguay keep it in, but it's going to be a goal kick, so all round sort of clumsy type play from Australia, but not costing them anything.
No, but not his strong point, Mark Schwarzer. The ball coming back to him. He's a fabulous goalkeeper, but playing with his feet is not one of his strengths. Australia just have to be careful in their attempts to try and keep possession. They need to be very careful that they don't invite Uruguay into those dangerous areas, because one poor pass or miscontrol and they'll pinch it.
Long ball down, and they're 30 metres out in the middle of the field. It's hooked back forward by Uruguay, taken on the chest neatly by Lucas Neal. A purposeful ball forward to it, almost found its way through to Tim Cahill.
Yeah, but a great header from Logano there.
He was scuttling forward. Still with Australia, it was out of play. Now to Tim Cahill, beautiful control on the chest, knocks it down to Kewell. Audacious back heel, finds Chipperfield, trying to work it. Here's Cahill with space, and on the edge of the box, here's a chance for Kewell. He half stubs it. Yes! They've scored! No! Yes! It's a magnificent goal to Australia! It's in the back of the nets!
Harry Kewell has set up the goal for Australia. Not a minute after taking the field, and I believe it was Marco Bresciano who stumped the ball into the back of the nets.
Well, that's absolutely incredible. Australia lead by 1-0, and listen to the crowd. And the ball came in, and Harry Kewell, he sort of stubbed it, but it fell, but there it was into the path, and there was Bresciano about 13 metres out, directly in front, but Kewell, I think he thought it was his, but his sort of shot pass fell so nicely, and look at Bresciano's finish. Yes, indeed.
Well, that is the best missed kick that Harry Kewell has ever and will ever do in his career.
Well, now that's game on. Certainly game on. And it's with the Australians. Harry Kewell off the outside of the left foot. And what an impact he's had already, Harry Kewell. And the Australians now in control of the game. Bresciano with his 7th goal for the country. Knocks it forward. Will he get it again? No, he can't. And the ball down on the chest. It's knocked down. And Kalina with Grella feeds it forward. And the Uruguayans have it. Oh, no, Australia back with Kewell on the halfway. Grella now, long ball forward, and it's way out in front there of the chasing Bresciano.
Yeah, but it was the right idea. Vince Grella picked the ball up and looked for that diagonal ball from left to right, where Bresciano had got in behind the defence of Uruguay. Just too much on the ball from Vince Grella, who is starting to get into the game. The opening exchanges for Grella were not happy, but he's got more and more touches, more and more comfortable receiving the ball in good positions, facing his opponent's goal when he receives the ball.
And again, a replay on the big screen, and the exalted look of Marco Bresciano. As there is the kick out over the halfway into the centre circle. It's knotted down.
Nah, that's ludicrous. I mean, Richard Morales is 1.96 metres tall. Vince Grella is probably 178. There's 20 centimetres separating them. Vince Grella just did a fair dinkum good job of out-jumping Morales there. Don't ask me to explain it biophysically. I couldn't. but it certainly wasn't a free kick.
Well, now the free kick inside the centre circle. And it's knocked forward and across the face of goal. Green and gold shirts knotted down by Emerton. Only goes as far as Diogo, or rather Reguera, and he's put down Viduka. And it's a free kick in another dangerous situation. Remembering that if Uruguay score a goal, then Australia will have to notch 2 more. But they've got 1. It's Australia 1, Uruguay 0.
Well, Viduka did a great job there, Wilco, in chasing back Varela, and needlessly gave away a free kick. This is just where you don't want them. Recoba lining up again for the 3rd such free kick in this area.
And here is Recoba, the danger man. And he looks to find the opening. Schwarzer poised. Recoba moves in with the left foot low. On. It goes to the near post and knocked out of play in a sea of legs.
And a goal kick, thank goodness. Oh, they're just ugly. They're ugly if you're trying to defend these free kicks from Recoba. You just cannot coach a guy to take free kicks like that. They are absolute pure dynamite. We should get a weapons inspector into the Uruguay dressing room for half-time and just check exactly what's in the left boot of Alvaro Recoba. Just fantastic stuff. What a game.
Well, a long ball downfield.
Logano again. That's about his 4th free kick. He's got to be sailing close to the wind. Repetitive fouls can get under the nose of a referee, and it's not beyond reality for them to adjudicate with a yellow card, which would play into the hands of Australia. Logano's had a fantastic start to the game, won some key headers. But he is infringing more often than he should be.
Well, now Bresciano, the goal scorer, after that slight miss-kick, sort of half miss-kick pass from Kuehl, it fell into his path, and he moves in now, strikes it, inviting a head, but the head is Uruguayan, and it's Pablo Garcia, out of play, throw in Australia, far side, Tim Cahill in the area on the edge of the box. It goes all the way back now to Kalita, pumps it in, and Viduka's up, and he can't quite get the control on the ball, and it goes through to Diogo. Long, high ball, looking for Reguera. Good nod down to Morales. Chasing forward, 2 on him. Good swarming back by Australia. Inside to Reguera. He's knocked down. Free kick is going to be a card here to Vidmar. Card yellow. Vidmar. Well, let's go down to Aaron Carney. Has certainly hotted up, Aaron.
Oh, this stadium absolutely shook. It's a massive construction, as you know, and yet it was shaken to its very foundations. Recoba said before the game they had a divine right to progress. When Harry Kuehl duffed that left foot, the football gods certainly smiled on Australia.
Well, now, these set plays, though, you really have the tension eking through the system. And it's going to be Recoba. It's just a given that he comes up to take it at 26 metres out, 25 metres out. And this will be a straight drive. One thinks for a top corner. Recoba, they trail by a goal. Does Uruguay. Can they level it up here and take control of the World Cup qualifying berth again? The wall, Jinx jumps inside the 18-yard box. And again, some jostling. The referee says, let's cool it down, boys. And he moves in now. Strikes, it's over!
Oh, that's the easiest one so far. The moment that left Recoba's boot, it was always going to miss. Deceptively close. Schwarzer read that beautifully. No panic at all. And thank goodness for the Aussies, because that's at least half a dozen free kicks in dangerous areas. If Australia continue to give Recoba chances from that range, they will pay the penalty.
Well, now it's Mark Schwarzer, long downfield. Viduka looking for the nod on, and it's going out of play. Australian throw in, 48 metres out. And again, we look to the end game here, and there's a lot of play to go between now and a World Cup qualifying berth. At the moment, it's Lucas Neal. Long ball looking for Cale forward. The nod on from Viduka only goes as far as Garcia. Chops it down and puts it into the path of Diogo, chasing forward. And nicely trapped it is by Varela on the hustle. Beaten clearly by Grella. Beautiful play there. Just sort of shouldered him out and gives a nice ball to Bresciano. The touch eludes him. Garcia with the ball at the foot. A little short pass away to Recoba. Back to Varela. Tips it forward looking for Morales. Off the head. Inside. Who's there? On the chest of an Australian Guernsey in the shape of Lucas Neal. And it's a free kick again to Australia for a little bit of obstruction coming from Grella.
Well, I thought that Grella should have concentrated on the ball there. He had a good chance to make a play at that ball and rescue the situation for Australia. Instead, he turned and body checked Garcia. And they're inviting trouble here, the Socceroos. It's a bit further out this time, probably 40 metres, but it's Recoba again.
Now Recoba. 10 metres to the right of the post, moves in, looks for the corner. Oh, it's on the bounce, bounced out in front, and Lugano came charging at Schwarzer. And they say, let's clean it up, boys. But on the bounce, it was knocked down. It went to him. It was a pretty regulation take, but it just sort of, well, half purposeful, half accidental, slipped out on the ground, and he had to pick it up quickly to stop the advancing player from giving it a nudge into the goal.
Well, a good reason and a good exhibition as to why you've at least got to get it on target. There wasn't a lot on that free kick, but it did go straight towards Schwarzer, and he was under pressure.
Now here's Viduka, the chip forward looking for Bresciano. He's going to have it, a one-on-one with Rodriguez. Knocks it back first time it is to Emerton, and then back it goes to Kalina. Square ball to Grella, 30 metres out directly in front. Chips it forward, there's a nod on from Cale into the area, no one making the run. Oh, nice thoughts. And Viduka appeals to Cale saying, hey, what happened? But a little bit of miscommunication, but fine build-up again from Australia. Aaron Carney.
Yes, Wilco, Australia is really looking good the more that they keep the ball, and really Uruguay's only opportunities are from conceding the fouls at the moment. What is interesting is that what's going on every time they're in a dead ball situation is it's a scrum in that 18-yard box of Australia, worthy of the Wallabies. It's getting very, very willing. Punches are being exchanged.
And there's just a little bit of a clue that Australia is trying to find, or starting to find, the clue to unsticking this defence, as we see another challenge not rewarded, or it is. It's going to be a free kick and another Uruguayan shirt down holding the head. And maybe their confidence has just been sapped a little bit because they're showing a willingness to hit the deck at any small provocation. That was Diego Lugano. He gets up now, and it just could have been an act by the look of it because he's getting up to take the free kick. So, well, where's the card for that sort of acting performance? Because he's obviously not injured. Ball forward from Uruguay, and flicked on Diogo takes it inside the byline, ends of the box, checks inside, can he get the cross in?
Yeah, great work,
Harry Kuehl.
Well read, Harry Kuehl, and great work, and wins the throw in. Chipperfield was beaten down on the far right hand side, deep in Australia's territory. And Carlos Diogo had a great opportunity to set up his team, but for the intervention of Harry Kuehl.
Well, now, battle for possession in the middle of the park, 10 from halfway. Well, there was a handball there from Vince Grella. He thought it was a free kick.
It is a free kick and should be a card too. That was a nasty challenge. A very nasty challenge from Reguero. And, of course, this becomes a factor, Peter. Every yellow card that's accumulated, and we've seen it with Tony Popovic, acted immediately to get him off the field. Well, there's another full half plus a couple of minutes to survive on a yellow card in the cut and thrust of this type of theatre. Now, that's the sort of Damocles hanging over a player's head, and indeed his team. And that was a needless free kick.
2 minutes time added on.
But he didn't miss him, Reguero. He did not miss him. Jason Kalina will have nice 3 red lines down the inside of his thigh, I'd say, after that one from the studs of Reguero.
Well, now the ball free, and Bresciano chips it forward, looking for Kuehl. Can he nod down? Pressured from behind. Back to Emerton. Emerton looking for the strike, trying to tussle for possession. Breaking away as Reguero takes it downfield and backs his pace. But it's going to be, well, he's going to get a free kick because he was slightly nudged off the ball. It was a very ambitious tuck forward with 2 on him. He pushed it about 15 metres forward and said, I'll take you guys on. And there might have just been a little bit of a touch to try and throw him off his stride.
Well, Emerton just caught in possession there, and I would have to say on balance that in the one-on-one exchanges, Uruguay have been superior to Australia. That was another case in point. Brett Emerton picked up the ball in a very advanced situation for Australia, just dwelt on it too long, and the Uruguay team, Reguero in particular, were right on him. Another turnover of possession, a free kick conceded, and it's Uruguay who are about to launch themselves into attack once more.
Now the ball forward to the edge of the area. And Harry Kuehl, it comes through to him, working the left. Diogo comes at him. He takes him on and he's brought down, hacked down. And that'll be a yellow too for Carlos Diogo. And the Australian bench up remonstrating. Aaron Carney, he beat him pointless.
Very agricultural tackle from behind Wilco. Harry Kuehl had no chance, but he was in open space down that left with players free on his inside as well. It was a critical defensive play that had to be made, even if it did cost a yellow card, or otherwise Australia may have had the opportunity to work their way into the box with only seconds remaining in this first half. It's animated on the Australian bench, I can tell you that. Graham Arnold gesticulating wildly.
Well, here's the free kick, couple of metres inside enemy territory. It's Chipperfield. He does so to the edge of the box. Emerton goes up, knocks it down. Kuehl's going to play the square ball, is he? He waits for Montero to come at him, and he takes it out towards the touchline. Feeds it back now to Kalina. Kalina has Grella in the centre. Kalina takes him on. He can't beat the player Reguero. It's half-time. Australia in the lead. And the crowd, 82,000 people, rise as one to applaud the Socceroos, who are one half of football and maybe a touch more away from a World Cup berth. It's a long way to go yet. There's a lot to play, to be had, to be won and lost. But they lead by a goal to nil, courtesy of Marco Bresciano. And what a half. So much drama, right from the balls being pumped up. Andy Harper to a couple of shots at either end, to Rakoba missing that left footer that went, how did he miss? And at the other end, Kalina had a shot that was well saved. And then in the end, it was Bresciano snapping up the crumbs to score the goal from Harry Kuehl's boot and tantalising dribble into the area.
Well, a dream scenario for Australia at half-time, Peter. If they could have scripted this, it's exactly how they would have done it. Perhaps their performance, on balance, not as convincing as Sunday morning's our time when they played in Montevideo, but they've got the goals break that they needed. The nerves will be soothed. Carini for Uruguay has been the busier of the two keepers, but I should think that not under as much pressure as Mark Schwarzer. It's been 8 or 9 free kicks that Rakoba has launched into that area, and 2 or 3 corners, and Schwarzer has looked a little unconvincing at times, but thankfully he's kept a clean sheet. And the telling point from that first half from Uruguay was that open goal with the keeper to beat from Alvaro Rakoba, and you would have put money on him scoring that. He didn't. Australia regrouped. They managed to get themselves back into the game with a bit better possession play. They're still falling into the trap that Uruguay are setting for them, and they're sailing very close to the wind. But on about half an hour, it was Hiddink who made the change, and he took off Tony Popovic, who was carrying a yellow card, and on came Harry Kuehl. And Harry's first Kuehl was probably the worst in his professional career, but the best that you could have imagined, because it bobbled off his left foot inside Uruguay's penalty area, and Marco Bresciano pounced to thrush the ball into the roof of Uruguay's net and to send this crowd, which has gathered in huge numbers, dressed in gold, into absolute raptures. And it was a dream half for Australia as far as the result is concerned. Guus Hiddink will be a very relieved man to be able to get his troops into the dressing room now to address a couple of situations, to calm them down. It was a frenetic opening to the match. Uruguay, credit to them, their tactics were almost immaculate. They didn't let Australia settle. From the midfield up, they were pushing into Australia's defensive areas and not letting Australia settle on the ball. And it worked a treat. The team that had possession most in the early exchanges was Uruguay. They perhaps didn't use it the way they ought, but nevertheless, it meant that Australia didn't have the ball and couldn't settle. They tried to take the crowd out of the game by milking free kicks, by remonstrating with the referee, the protestations over the inflatability, if you like, of the footballs. It's all part of the gamesmanship. It's all part of taking Australia out of their rhythm, or indeed not allowing them to get into their rhythm before they're able to. And it's to take the crowd out of the game. But what they haven't figured on tonight, La Celeste, is that this crowd is here for one reason, and that's to get the Aussies home. And they have not been taken out of the game at all. Australia came back into it as they needed to, got the goal they needed to. At half-time, the boys will be drinking and rehydrating, and Guus Hiddink will be earning his money at this point.
Andy Harper, we might just go down to the sideline to Aaron Carty. What were the faces saying as they walked off, Aaron?
It was very interesting to see. The last man off the field was Rakoba. He took a good 50 or 60 metre opportunity to get right inside the referee's ear. You couldn't help but feel as that half went on, particularly after the goal was scored, that Uruguay looked better and better as they were front runners over in Montevideo, and Australia was looking better and better as front runners the longer this game went on. Curiously, when Uruguay was on the attack early in the match, Australia was the one who looked very shaky. But as the half went on, Australia was able to push further and further up the pitch, and that strategic change of Popovic for Kuhl paid immediate dividends. The job is exactly half done. We are halfway through the match. They are halfway to the score that they need to progress to Germany in 2006. And you know what, boys? It's almost like after 31 years of heartache for Australian soccer that they've gone to the casino and they've put the car, the house, the superannuation, the kids' college money, all on one hand of blackjack. There's already been one ace turned up for the Uruguayans. Australia's turned over an ace as well. Let's hope there's a king in the second half.
Thanks very much, Aaron. We're going to pause for just a moment, take stock, and we'll be back here at Stadium Australia for the second half, and who knows, perhaps extra time, because if it stays at that score, we might well be heading into extra time, and we don't want to go there, do we? No, we need another Australian goal in the second part of the equation.
Grandstand on ABC Radio. Now's the time. Now's the pressure. The second half. Currently 1-1 between Australia and Uruguay after Uruguay won the first leg 1-0 and Australia leads 1-0 at half-time. And just a reminder of how that goal came to Australia.
It's still with Australia. It was out of play. Now to Tim Cahill. Beautiful control on the chest. Knocks it down to Kuhl. Audacious back heel. Finds Chipperfield. Trying to work it. Oh, here's Cahill with space. And on the edge of the box, here's a chance for Kuhl. He half stubs it. Yes! They've scored. No. Yes! It's a magnificent goal to Australia. It's in the back of the nets.
Harry Kuhl has set up the goal for Australia. Not a minute after taking the field. And I believe it was Marco Bresciano who stumped the ball into the back of the net.
It sure was. Marco Bresciano got it into the back of the net with a great left-footed drive. And let's hope Australia can come up with one more of those as we take you back to Peter Wilkins.
Yes, welcome back to Stadium Australia, and I think your mind plays tricks with you sometimes, and that little half no there, you sort of thought, well, it was so easy in the end, wasn't it? I mean, you're just thinking, oh, it can't be happening, but it was. It was a magnificent strike. But Harry Kuhl, I was half expecting him to just drive it with a left foot and sort of angle it past the keeper, and he just sort of stubbed off, and there was Bresciano in the ruck hooking it into the roof of the net. But it's sort of the job half done, Andy, and we got plenty to go.
Well, we still need that second goal, and the second goal still doesn't give us immediate comfort. It does give us obviously a clearer sight at the qualification for next year, but Uruguay are still only one goal away, one free kick away, one penalty away, one opening on goal away from making Australia's job very, very difficult indeed. But he couldn't have scripted it any better, was hitting. He'll be at half-time now. This is exactly what he was hired for, and a brilliant job getting the troops together thus far. And at half-time in this second leg, return match, home qualifier for Australia, he'll be working the dressing room, setting the stall out, making sure everybody knows their job, predicting what's going to happen, painting scenarios for his players, making every one of the 11 know exactly what to expect and how to counter it and how they can improve on their first half performance. They do have a lot of room to improve on their first half. Their possession was good in patches but not good enough for long enough periods. That's one thing they'll try to correct. A little bit more width is the other thing. And they'll try also not to accept the invitation for Uruguay to make angled passes into the centre of the field where Uruguay habitually pounce on the ball, dispossess Australia and launch a counter-attack. But it was you couldn't have wished for any better. Certainly for Marco Bresciano, who's earned his call up to the starting lineup by thrashing that ball into the roof of the net and giving Australia the advantage. But all the work still to do, and that is the message that Hiddink will be giving his players. All the work is still to do, and tiredness now will emerge as a factor. In the second half is exactly 15-20 minutes gone in the second half. the score remains at 1-0. This is exactly when the crowd comes into play to bring Australia home. The elites will start to tire. It was only 4 days ago across the other side of the world that both sets of players were going hammer and tongs. Incredibly difficult to recover physically in time. And look for the players and the coaches to be taking the sting, as it were, out of their opponents to try and save some juice, because tiredness will become a factor. Yellow cards will become a factor in the second half, and that those players who are skirting close to receiving a second yellow card and thereafter leaving their team a man down will be on tenterhooks, making sure that they don't transgress to the point where they're asked to leave the field. It's incredible drama here, so much at stake. Sheep stations, in fact, if you're an Australian supporter, and Uruguay, the pride of their history on the line. They're chasing the game now. They still need that one bounce of the ball. And it's a mirror image of 4 years ago. Uruguay went into the half-time 4 years ago in the second match in Montevideo, a goal up. Australia had the run of the play in the second half for 20 minutes. And Uruguay started to get very frustrated. The fans started to turn on their players. The coach was under visible pressure. And out of nowhere, Alvaro Recoba speared a free kick for Richard Morales to go 2-0 up. Still at that point, Australia just needed that one goal to go through on the away goals rule. We couldn't muster it. We collapsed a bit towards the end, and Recoba again sat up Richard Morales for the third goal. Well, so far we have Australia coming from nowhere. They're chasing the goal. They got the goal for half-time. And now the next 20 minutes will be crucial in this match. I mean, it's silly to say, Wilco, because the next 45 and possibly beyond that will be crucial. But Australia must not let Uruguay get into the game. They're too good to allow them to have opportunities. And if we keep giving free kicks away, we keep giving ball away, and we keep inviting them into our defensive area, we will pay the penalty.
Look, you did mention the jet lag. It could well be affecting the Uruguayan side. They could be tiring, fatiguing near the end. A very short turnaround. Their coach bemoaned that turnaround. So you just don't know how the end game is going to play out. But what would another goal to Australia to make it 2-0 would force Uruguay's hand, and there are so many permutations out there in the next 45 minutes.
There are. Look, and it won't change. If we get another goal, it won't change Uruguay's play unless it happens late in the game. Because Uruguay have already shown, Peter, that they're going to press Australia as far up the field as they need to. They will continue as long as their bodies allow them to, before they have to access this special spirit of La Celeste, which has made them one of the powerhouses in world football. This is a nation of 3.5 million people. It's smaller than Sydney, yet they've won the World Cup twice. These guys won't go down without fighting to the death. It's the motto under which they play and train and live and are brought up in football in Uruguay. They won't let this one go. They won't change their game tactics just yet, because they just need that one bounce of the ball. Australia have been very generous in some of their free kicks. They've been under pressure, the Australian team. It's incumbent upon Australia now to wrest control completely, not to give away free kicks, not to give away cheap possession, to work the ball with measure and structure up towards the other end of the field, and let's hope Viduka can get on the end of one or two crosses.
Let's hear the roar for the Australians as they come out for the second half. Simply everybody out of the seats. Marco Bresciano, who made his debut in June of 2001 versus France in a 1-0 victory to the Australians, scored his 7th goal for Australia, and it's put them in the driving seat. They're in control. The Spanish referee, Luis Medina Cantalejo, will now signal the start of the second half. 45 minutes before us. It's game on again, and Uruguay immediately pumping the long ball downfield, and Rodriguez missing it. Guillermo Rodriguez out of play, and an Australian throw-in. That one goal required to take Australia to the World Cup and to keep the Uruguayan scoreless. Pushing it back. Free kick Australia on Tim Kyle and a swinging arm against Dario Rodriguez. And so Australia standing over the ball. It's Brett Emerton, 10 metres from halfway. hugging the right side. Low flat ball in, looking for Viduka. It goes outside. Somehow the ball comes back to him. Kuhl though. He's going to measure the cross. Far post is Bresciano. He's hacked out again. Kuhl. Another free kick, Australia. On the edge of the box.
Well, that's Logano again. That's at least his 5th foul. And he's walked directly away from the referee, as he should, because he is sailing very close to the wind. And Mark Viduka, although the problem for Big Dukes is he's probably not fluent in Castilian, should be pointing that out to the referee. Logano has been a repeat offender. But it's a great position for a free kick. It's Bresciano, 5 metres from the edge of the penalty area. It'll be an in-swinger from Bresciano. He's got to get it on target, Wilco.
Well, here comes Bresciano, almost at the apex of the box on the left side and about 3 metres further afield. Kuhl's there at near post. Here he comes in, looking for the header. Oh, it's down, header down, still chance for Kuhl. Across the face of goal, over the top, out of play. Oh, bouncing around like a pinball. And a big chance for Australia. And Bresciano waving his arms as he goes over to the corner flag. And he's going to take the corner again, eager to take it. And he moves in, hooks it, and they leap up, and it's headed away by Uruguay. As far as Grella, it goes straight up and down off his head, and knotted down by Reguero, and it's chipped up in the air. Uruguay have it left edge of the field, and falling over on the chase back is Emerton, all the way forward to Recoba, 1-on-1, but cool play there from Lucas Neal. The ball out of play, isn't it? There's an argument between Jason Kalina and the referee, so there are any number of games going on out there at the moment.
Well, Kalina was asking for a handball, and I think he had a claim for it against the Uruguay opponent.
Quickly taken, and it's going to be a corner kick. Emerton surrenders one to the charging Reguera. And it's a corner kick to Uruguay. Listen to the crowd. Here goes Recoba now, looking for the charging runners, and they come. Recoba, it sails. Morales is there. It's not a down and bounces on the bounce over. Another had a huge opportunity again to the Uruguayans.
And that was a free kick, Wilco, for a foul committed on Timmy Cahill.
Yeah, and it was Logano again. And Diogo working that far post, but a free kick to Australia.
And a great opportunity up the other end of the field. Scott Chipperfield bore in on that free kick or that corner and had a header that bounced, was going wide, and Kuhl rescued it, and it did come across the face of the goal. It's a good chance for Australia.
Rodriguez chips the ball forward, finds Recoba. Beautiful touch off the left foot, and he releases the charging Reguero as well. Down the touchline, he's going to take off Neal. Astute, cool defending, hooks out the right foot to put it out of play, and it's going to be a throw into Uruguay. 10 metres from the goal line on the left side, heading north, right to left as we view it on the western side of this stadium, Australia. 1-0 Australia lead Uruguay. Early moments of the second half. And there's the throw-in now to Reguera and Rodriguez. He's going to cross it in. No, it's another corner kick to Uruguay. Another corner, and they motor in. Diego's there, so to Reguera. Rodriguez, who headed that goal, he moves near post. And Morales, far post. They're all there. Logano, it goes in, and looking for Morales, free header. Oh, he's butchered it. Oh, he butchered the header. It was a free header about 7 metres out from the goal line. Well, and he headed it straight down into the ground and over.
That was a terrible piece of football from, I say that, use the term advisedly, because it was a header from 6 yards out, and Lucas Neal has absolutely gone off at referee Cantalejo, suggesting that Morales manhandled him out of the way, and the amount of space that Morales had for that header, you could only think that Lucas Neal has a fair claim. Nevertheless, the chance is wasted, and Cahill now breaking down on the left-hand side. Wins a throw-in for Australia.
Well, it's a throw-in now, and Australia take the ball. And that's another chop down, is it? And Australia with a free kick. Aaron Carney, quick thought on the sideline as the game hots up to an unbelievable temperature. I know, quickly taken. We'll watch the play. We'll come back to you. Here's Kuhl again, dancing. Beats 1, 2. Brilliant play. Near post, and it's taken by the keeper. Oh, exultant play from Harry Kewell at the moment, and he's playing a gem of a game at the moment.
And that's what Australia needs. Someone like Kewell who will settle on the ball, he will change direction, he will start to ask the defenders questions. And in that case, it was Carlos Diogo who didn't know whether to tackle or didn't know whether to sit out.
Oh, loose piece of defensive play from Rodriguez, who chipped the ball across field, and it was dangerous. Rakoba now has it to Reguera. Rakoba might get the return pass. No, Reguera, he tracks forward, taking on Emerton. Emerton, though, beats him and lets the ball go over the goal line, and Reguera says there was a bit of shirt grabbing, and the referee points the finger at him, and the crowd again rises at that challenge.
A fantastic start from Australia. Uruguay have rolled their sleeves up and they're giving this everything, and the Australians are giving as good as they get. We're very happy to report Harry Kewell is emerging as a key on that left-hand side. Jason Collina as well on the right-hand side. We need players who are going to get control of the ball and change direction, ask some questions of Uruguay's defence.
Well, now Logano breaks free in the centre field, spears through three, beautiful offload, and it goes out to Varela. The numbers in the centre, Logano's there. Varela pressured by Kewell, he tackles back, wins it, goal kick! Oh, not only that, it's a magician piece of play from Kewell. He chases back and comes up with a goal kick.
Just listen to us, Wilco. We're getting excited about goal kicks, for Pete's sake. Such is the tension in this stadium. The noise is absolutely incredible. The colour and the movement. The players are dishing up exactly what the crowd's here for. That's magnificent stuff at the moment. Schwarzer lines up the goal kick. It's a bit of a breather for both teams. Schwarzer launches the ball towards halfway.
Well, now Schwarzer up over halfway. Up goes Reguera, knocks it as far as Emerton, streams forward does Emerton, again good control, and wins the throw in too, just chopping it into Guillermo Rodriguez's legs, quickly takes the throw, Collina yells for it, he gets it at the second attempt, here's Collina now, just knocks it back to Grella, and then out wide on the left it goes to Chipperfield, knocks it forward to Kewell, and he's giving Diogo a headache, he comes one side of Diogo, goes the other, crosses the ball straight away, and the hook from Kyle, just wide, off the left foot, Timmy Kyle.
Well, Paulo Montero has left a boot on Tim Cale's ankle, and Cale is rolling on the ground. He's just getting up now, but it's the Kewell factor again.
Corner kick and must have ricocheted through off a defender. Corner kick. Bresciano takes it, and the big men are all there in the centre for Australia. Emerton goes in there, so too Viduka. And it goes in, chance here, and knocked away.
Good goalkeeping from Carini. His team needed him there.
And look, on the charge now, Reguera breaks. Pace from Collina, wins the challenge. No, it's a yellow card to Jason Collina. He had the arm, it looked to be a sort of one-on-one, arms flailing everywhere. Reguera, he was looking to buy that one. Jason Collina, playing in his 11th international, surrenders a free kick, but he is leaving nothing in the tank.
It's a fair decision there. Collina was beaten, Reguera was away. And you do get a handful of your opponent's shirt, and you do invite the ire of the referee. Jason Collina now walking that yellow card tightrope.
Well, it's going to be Dario Rodriguez, knocks it forward to Reguera, tries to chip it on, just a sea of yellow and gold shirts, and can they break? No, bad ball from Kyle. Oh, Harry Kewell was in a hectare of space, and on the counter it's Uruguay. Here's Reguera taking on the defence again, the cross ball in, Regoba tries to knock it on, Morales is there, it comes free to Kewell, tips it forward, but it's going to be a free kick for an infringement to Australia, and down on the sideline, soaking it up as Aaron Carney. Aaron.
You two boys are getting very excited up there. There's no different down here on the sideline. The interesting thing is, if you've got high blood pressure or a heart condition, you might not want to listen to the rest of this game, because these two sides are going at each other. Clearly the instructions for Uruguay were go out, get that goal back and get another. We're going to the World Cup. The Australians, of course, need another to secure their position. This is going to be heart-thumping action for the remainder of this game.
Well, loose ball forward from Uruguay. Harry Kewell knocks it down, and then another back heel. Beautiful play. And coolly back to his defender Chipperfield, and then on to Lucas Neal and on to Collina, and they work it out to the right to Emerton, in space again on the right, tracking forward, upfield is Bresciano, so too Viduka and Kyle, it's with Emerton, lays it off there to Grella, turns, and they're finding space and room either side of the park. It goes to Kuhl now, feeds it forward, a beautiful pass, cross ball now, oh, it almost got through to Viduka. Oh, unbelievable stuff it was from Australia, with Emerton making a charging run into the box. Quickly taken, Emerton, head down again, burrows it back to Kuhl, square balls on here to Grella, sends it to him, back to Kuhl again, beautiful angles played by the Australians supporting each other, back it goes to Kalina, tips it forward to Viduka, nods it down to Bresciano. Oh, what a shot! Just over!
And that was the chance. Beautiful patient play from Australia. And I hate to sound repetitive, but Harry Kuhl in it up to his eyeballs. Viduka received the ball from Jason Kalina, knocked it down with his head to the advancing Bresciano, who can't keep his volley down, and it just whisks over the top of the crossbar.
Oh, this is princely stuff from Australia at the moment. They have the ascendancy. The last 5 minutes, or at least the last 3, was some glorious football as Uruguay throw it down for the Morales off the head. Here's Kalina now. He just auctions the ball. He puts it high up in the field, up in the air, over halfway. Lugano hooks it forward optimistically again. It comes through for Australia. This is Australia's passage of play. They lead by 1-0 over Uruguay, and we've had 11 minutes of play in the second half. Lucas Neal, Cool, they can sense it. Was the offside? I thought he was. It's knotted down by Uruguay. Trouble. Montero hooks it away up towards halfway. And the battle for control. He succeeds though, does Emerton. Sends it back to Lucas Neal. High tip forward. Kuhl makes the run. Can he gather it in? Kuhl into the box. Can he square it? He does so. And it's knocked over for a corner as Timmy Kyle was waiting on the edge of the 6-yard box. Oh, it's mesmerising stuff.
And Australia going a more direct route now. They're really pinning Uruguay back. Lucas Neal lobbing the ball forward immediately to Harry Kuhl. Used his body beautifully. Rolled Carlos Diogo like he wasn't there, squared the ball, and Kale thundering through the centre of the penalty area. Paulo Montero cleared expertly, and it's Chipperfield who will take a left-footed in-swinger.
And they're all queuing up there. Emerton, Viduka, and they move in. Dangerous, across, but it's a keeper's ball. Keeper's ball into the 6-yard box. And it's now released quickly in Uruguay break. And look at the green and gold surge chasing back. Varela, though, hustles forward. Beautiful layoff to Aguera. Well intercepted by Lucas Neal. 30 out from his own line. Plays the early ball. And it's Tim Kale flashing down the left. Beautiful tackle from Lugano. But it's going to be a throw-in. That was a good challenge. Good football all round.
Lucas Neal, what a game Lucas Neal's having at the back. Just so composed. His distribution the last 10 minutes has been immaculate.
And now the ball back with Australia, just inside opposition territory, 1-0. That's one of the few sloppy passes, and it was from Kalina. Ball bounces downfield. It hasn't been given up by Morales. Look, he's sprinting like a 400-metre runner, and he comes back, but finally laid back on the inside. Coolly so by Australia, although Rakoba, he danced forward and put a little bit of pressure on Swarcher. The quick kick downfield, and again a heading duel. Kalina heads it forward. Keeper has to come out, and it's a keeper's ball for Uruguay in the shape of Carini. Game warm, boiling at the moment as we watch Uruguay pouring it down the left side. Woodrow chipping and appealing for a free kick. No, it's a throw into Australia. And it's knotted down. Back to Jason Kalina, then to Vidmar. And Vidmar sends it back to Kalina, 6 metres from the halfway line. Kalina, low angle forward, beautiful pass to Kale. Scuttles back inside and across field. And they're trying to give it a bit of width. They go to Chipperfield. Kuhl's with him. It's with Kuhl now. Forward is Viduka, also Kale. And he sends it far back. Here's Kale. Up, heads. Oh, hooked up the line. No, free kick. Oh dear. That was more extraordinary play from the Australian side, as they have the ascendancy currently. Aaron Carney on the touchline.
Oh, this is incredible, Wilco. You've made a lot of the fact of whether the Uruguayans will experience some jet lag. How will they back up after 4 days? At the moment, they can barely get a touch on the ball. It's gone for about 10 minutes now. If it goes for about another 20, they will be in very big trouble. You cannot chase the ball for an entire half.
Well, and the crowd, you've never heard a crowd like it at the Stadium Australia. The noise has just been a constant. It's really inspiring the players. And there's a free kick, little push in the back from Lucas Neal on Richard Morales, the man who gave Australia pain 4 years ago. But has yet to have an impact. That head, what about that free header? There have been two clear-cut misses. Now quickly taken by Rakova and headed away by Grella. Grella, Kale's underneath it, 20 yards out. The danger not gone. Charging the back it was from Garcia. Garcia going on borrowed legs at the moment. And now it's back. Dangerous bouncing ball. Bresciano pressing Rodriguez. And he throws the back pass to Montero. Hooks it. Ricochets. Not favourably for Uruguay, but into the area finally at the feet of Carini. Picks it up. No intentional back pass. And it's going to be Carini to kick the ball out, and he's shadowed by Viduka, forcing him to now hook it high. It's a long kick downfield, three-quarter length, and it's not a down. Rakova almost had the ball, but a decisive interception from Tony Vidmar. Releases it away to Grella, to Bresciano, his partner in crime, chips it up over the head of Lugano. Chasing is Viduka. Lugano hooks it wide and out of play, over halfway. And we've had, 14 and a half minutes of play in the second half. Australia leading 1-0, looking for that second goal, which will take them to the glory of a World Cup berth that's been so elusive. Australia with the ball, 15 metres inside their own half. It goes now to Vidmar, out wide on the right to Emerton, and they've got such width at the moment. Look, two on the left, Emerton out on the right. It goes to the left to Chipperfield. He's working with Kuehl out there, and Kuehl so magnificent. He's making the run, and he takes it down that left. It goes out of play, does it? Yes, just throw in Uruguay.
Yeah, but that's okay because Australia keeping the ball. They need to convert some of this possession over the next 10 minutes to some chances, to some real chances, and keep Uruguay under pressure. The more Lucas Neal keeps things settled at the back, the better for Australia. The more Jason Kalina can come into the game, the better for Australia. And if Harry Kuehl can continue in this current vein, the better for Australia. He has been masterful in this second half, Harry Kuehl. He has put the Uruguayan team, their defence in particular, right back on their heels.
Now here's Emmett, or rather Chipperfield, charging forward. Pass out to Kuehl again, hugging the left edge. Feeds it to Bresciano. Onside, he might have been off. Play, Kale's in the centre, can't hook the ball in. There's a number of Celeste shirts and they take it. They drive it out past the area. Forward ball's going to be intercepted. It's Vidmar, and his second attempt grabs it. Then a nice chip forward to Kale. Kale's with a shot. Is it on? No, he squares it. Oh, and it was Bresciano yet again with a hook that was heading over the goal, but he is so potent.
He is, and he's been sniffing around those areas. A great interception from Tony Vidmar. Read that perfectly, did the old-timer. He beat Rakova in the stoush for the ball as well, and he released Timmy Kale. Timmy Kale looked like he was struggling for options and fed the ball on, ultimately, to Bresciano, who shot high and wide.
Now it's nodded forward again to Viduka, nodded down to Celeste Shirts back, and they clean it up to Rodriguez out on the left. He's tracked by Emerton, and the Australians pulling it from everywhere at the moment. There's so much going into their performance, and they win a throw-in. Yes, they do, on halfway.
Oh, the crowd cheering on throw-ins. Everything that Australia is getting to go their way, the Australian crowd is supporting with incredible volume.
And now Chipperfield in space down on the left. Kuehl's upfield, so too Viduka and Bresciano. Forward it goes to Kuehl, made a beautifully timed run. Can he get the cross in to the byline? It's taken out of play by Lugano. Oh, he's been giving him a harrowing time down that side. Diego Lugano back after his yellow card. He might reflect on Harry Kuehl, the jewel, as now the corner is to be taken by Bresciano. They clear up in the middle, and it's going to be in there for Australia. And it's a dangerous corner, but taken again by Carini on the edge of the 6-yard box. He came out, Aaron, to take it.
63 minutes gone now, Wilco, in this match. 63 minutes gone, and I can tell you that Horst Hinnig has just gone to the sideline and said, turn up the heat. I want the two wide men at the back in defence to put forward. Push up behind those attacking players. Everyone get forward.
Here's a chance for Uruguay. Nodded down into the centre. Headed away. Oh, that's a cool piece of work for Neal. Just a flat header out to Harry Kuehl. In space, Lugano said, or rather Diogo says, not you again. And a beautiful release to Bresciano. Shirt grab from behind. Penalised. Pablo Garcia. Too slow. Too old on that occasion. And a free kick to Australia, 48 metres out from the line.
Yeah, but too smart between the ears. Too fast between the ears was Garcia there. It should have been a yellow card against the central midfielder.
Again, whip coming from Emerton, wide on the right. Australia now, beautiful run from Kale forward, down the right touchline. Emerton wants it back again, 2-on-1, almost a foul there. The assistant referee has a look, finally a throw into Australia. A throw into Australia.
Oh, it's willing stuff, Wilco. Tim Kale copped another one down the back of the calf muscle there from Rodriguez.
Here goes Emerton, stands on the ball and then takes it back on the left foot. He's challenged and well by Reguera, and they come free. A sort of aimless hook out by Rodriguez, and that's a good sign. Australia have it on halfway. Chipperfield, cool as you like in the centre to Grell, a bit of space. He can feed it forward. Oh no, they know they're on a winner here, the Australians. They just have to find it. The ball to Varela, knocks it back to Diogo. They're backpedaling and they're looking not the number 17 side in the world at the moment, the Uruguayans. The Australians number 54. They're playing like number 12. And they're 5 metres from halfway. Here's Kalina with a square ball out on the right. It goes to Emerton, stands on it again arrogantly and confidently, puts it back to Grella inside the circle. He's challenged, feeds it back to Emerton again. Edge of the box is Viduka, and Viduka goes. It's a harmless ball.
That's where it's breaking down for Australia at the moment. Uruguay look like they're slowing up a bit, but they're defending very deep. And as opposed to the first half, Australia is getting more and more good time on the ball, but their delivery into the box has not been what it should be, either from corners or free kicks, certainly in general play.
Free kick to Uruguay now, 38 metres out as Tony Vidmar, the old warrior, leapt high. He committed the foul on Morales, and now Recoba stands over it. Remember, if Uruguay score a goal and perish that thought, then Australia will have to score twice more. And who's to say it's beyond them the way they're playing, but they haven't got one yet, Uruguay. Here goes Recoba, tucks it forward and headed away coolly by Vidmar. Up to Kale, knocks it down, charging forward is Kuehl. A bit of a chance for a release, and he's brought, no, he jumped over the tackling player. He chipped it forward, and the referee says that throw-in's going to go to Uruguay. So Kuehl, I think, just stretching out his luck a little bit. Maybe there was a clip, maybe not. Throw into Uruguay, right side, 40 metres out from the goal line. They head north in the second half, and their hopes to be heading south if Australia can put on another goal. But Uruguay with the ball, no free kick, little nudge. It's Australia, the free kick. Morales is remonstrating, appealing, and he doesn't get his way. Australia now, 10 metres from halfway. It's on to Kalina and out wide again to Emerton. Little 1-2 it is. Oh, Kale charges forward, hustles 2-on-1. Somehow the ball bounces free. No, it doesn't. It comes to Uruguay. Dario Rodriguez has brought down Kalina, and there's going to be a free kick. And the card comes out, another yellow. Well, there's that an omen too, the colour for the Knights. Aaron Carney.
That was a definite studs up, Wilco. Came in hard on Kalina. There's no play acting going on out there. He is in some pain. You just heard Andy say it a moment ago. Australia will never have a run of possession like this in a game this big ever again. They must convert it. They will never get a better opportunity to score a goal. They must put this game to bed soon.
Well, now it's with Tony Vidmar, a couple of metres from the halfway line. Paducah's upfield. Kuehl again out on the left, and then there's Kyle and Bresciano operating in the centre. Here's Lucas Neal. Oh, he just fiddles with the ball a little bit. But Cooley back into the centre. It comes from the edge of the field from Chipperfield. And then Grella releases another fine pass out to the right to Emerton. Gee, they're finding some space and room. Kalina tucks it back to Vidmar. Just a square at the back again to Lucas Neal. Stands over the ball and reels it forward. Oh, chancy pass, but a beautiful one. But well robbed was Kuehl on that occasion. He charges at three of them. And finally it comes out of Varela. No, it's play on. It's still with Uruguay, 15 from halfway in all the toing and froing. Australia chase back. There's 3-on-1 and not a good pass out though. Surrenders possession, but where are the Uruguayans upfield? We've got 5 back and now there are 3 Uruguayans upfield. And the ball into the area and not a dead it is over the goal line by Tony Vidmar. Corner kick, and they really surrendered that on done. Not too much pressure because if they'd looked around they would have seen a lot of fatigued Uruguayans looking for the sofa.
Well, indeed, Richard Morales was given an age to cross that ball, and in the end it caused a dangerous situation where none was eventuating of its own accord. Again, I thought Schwarzer probably could have come and defused that. It's a Recoba corner.
Oh, danger here for Australia. Recoba comes in near post and headed down by Emerton. Back to Recoba again. He's going to feed it in again. Goes again for the near post.
Yeah,
Schwarzer guards it.
That were good hands from Mark Schwarzer. That was vicious. Bounced at a good length. To use cricket parlance, and Schwarzer just put it into the breadbasket and cushioned the blow with his hands. His team needed that.
21 minutes to go. Australia lead 1-0. If the score says this time or this way, then we'll go to extra time. Kalina, beautiful chest down on halfway. They just have control. Look at Kuehl. He's going to charge at Varela. Bresciano's with him. He goes on his own Kuehl. Dances at Varela and gets the throw in. He does. 15 metres out. He's going to take it quickly. Not a bad one, though. A bad one. He surrenders possession to Morales. Forward goes Recoba. He had nothing. Tried to feint. He missed it completely. And to green and gold again. Oh, is the killer blow coming? Is it imminent? Kuehl chips it forward to the raging Chipperfield. Upfield there is Kyle. Kyle onside. Pushed in the back. He's still there, Kyle. Referee goes across to have a close look. He's robbed of the ball. He couldn't get out of the corner. And likewise, Uruguay could not kick it out of the corner as well. Fine defending back there from Lugano, but in the end the release downfield was very poor, but they win the throw-in. And it's Diogo headed down by Kuehl into the centre. It finds a green and gold shirt, and now they square it up. Cross to the left edge again to Chipperfield. Back to Kuehl. Inside to Kyle. Tried the 1-2 with Kuehl. Robbed by Varela. And Australia just not making the most of this little part of possession. And now Kuehl play again at the back. And Uruguay release it upfield to Varela. Gustavo tackle from behind. Free kick given against Vince Grella.
Yeah, it's a good free kick from Vince Grella too. And this must not let Uruguay get into any consecutive possession, Wilco. They must keep them out of their rhythm, Australia. And that was, if there's a good free kick to give away, that was it.
Well, now thinking of making a replacement, perhaps Jalacheta coming on. Uruguay feeding it down the left touchline, intercepted by Emerton. Bresciano loses out. It was a little buttock shove there coming in from Reguero. Does he get the 1-2? No, he doesn't. But work to do for Kalina. Looks back, feeds it into the area. Little bit of trouble here for Neil. Coolly plays it out to the left of the supporting Chipperfield. Oh, they're arrogant at the moment, the Australians. It's beautiful to watch. Tucked forward to Kyle by Grella. Grella then passes out into the right. Beautiful possession football. Long, high ball down.
No.
Oh, he wasn't onside, Viduka. He wasn't offside. The touch judge put his flag up, and Viduka didn't appear to be offside when the ball was hit.
No, exactly right. I think the linesman or assistant referee, as they're called nowadays, Peter, I think he might have erred on the side of the defenders errantly there. And you're quite right. Marcelo Zalaeta looks like he's getting stripped on the side. Striker for Juventus in Italy's Serie A.
Downfield it goes, and Uruguay, can they find an opportunity here? And Morales with the ball though. Lucas Neal's all over him beautifully. Releases again. Upfield to Bresciano. Taken out by Garcia. Referee says play or not. That was a foul.
Total foul.
That was a foul there on Bresciano.
And a yellow card too. And they're getting away with it, Uruguay, at the moment. And it's for them to keep pushing the card, pushing the envelope. Recoba has left the field for Marcelo Zalaeta. And that is an amazing decision.
Well, that is an amazing decision. Maybe the work rate of Recoba.
And Recoba hasn't even gone to the bench. He's gone straight up the tunnel.
Straight up the tunnel. Well, that's an extraordinary substitution with still 18 minutes to go and the possibility of extra time.
And penalties.
The best dead ball striker, well, he's off the field. And you're right, and penalties too. Have Uruguay, have they had a moment on the bench where the noose has been around the neck? Here they are, working it down the left side. Zalacheta, he can't come through with the ball. Kalina, he's looked like he had the fresh legs there beating him. Out to Kuehl on halfway, right on the edge of the centre circle left. Charges into the circle, just stands on the ball. Passes it back to Grella. Grella looks forward. Where's the run? It comes from Kyle. Knocks it back to Kuehl. Kuehl out wide to Emerton. Has Kyle and Viduka upfield. Viduka still lurking a little bit offside, so it goes all the way back there to Vidmar. They're toying with him at the moment. Grella now, forward it goes to Bresciano. Fortuitous touch on, no, released by Uruguay into the centre circle, brought down, free kick to Uruguay against Grella.
Just a little too cute by half from Australia. Their intent is magnificent, to keep the ball and to move Uruguay around the field and to take all the juice out of the Uruguayan players as they can, as much as they can, I should say. But they just fell foul there. One bad touch and Uruguay are away, forcing Vince Grella to make the foul.
Well, now the Uruguayans, let's keep a look at the clock. 16 and a half minutes to go of real time. There's the chip into the box. High goes Morales. It's still there for Uruguay. Still up in the air. Varela, can he get it? On the left foot, Zalacheta with a chance into the box. Is he brought down? No play on. He charged in looking for the penalty. Forward to Bresciano. To Kyle. Upfield is Viduka. It goes to Viduka. Viduka with one to beat. They charge up in the centre. Viduka's going to have a crack to send the ball across field. He does so. He finds Kalina. Chests it down. Passes it back to Grella. Grellerad wide on the left of Kuhl. They take stock and they look good. Into the area there. High looking for Kale. Far post, but Carini sails to take the ball.
Again, they're undoing their own good work, Australia. We don't wish to sound pessimistic, but they're getting great position with fantastic composure. And the last ball is either a gift for the goalkeeper or hasn't got the sting to cause problems for the defence.
Well, now the Australians, as Uruguay, they've got I hesitate to say it, but they look like they've got nothing at the moment, Uruguay. But of course it only needs one error and it only needs one moment and they're back in the contest and will win this contest. But Australia hold the upper hand at 1-0. It's all level at the moment, and if it stays this way by full time, we'll have extra time. And standing on the ball and sending it forward now is Kale. He's taken from behind.
Garcia.
And it's a free kick against Garcia. Is it going to be a yellow or is it yellow? Let's go down on the touchline, on the sideline again quickly, because they're going to take this quickly, Aaron.
Yes, there is getting very willing out there, and really the referee, with having handed out so many cards early, is becoming increasingly reluctant to do so, because it might just result in someone back in the sheds.
Well, now standing over the ball is Australia. And it's tipped forward by Bresciano to Viduka. Tries to knock it down. And, they're a bit tardy there, Uruguay, to clear it. And it comes through to Kuhl. Turns around Kuhl. He tries one. Kuhl, far post wide.
Yeah, but that's all right from Harry Kuhl on his non-preferred right foot. But again, every time Kuhl's getting the ball, the Uruguayan defence starts to shudder, particularly on the right-hand side, his immediate opponent, Carlos Diogo. But Kuhl is having such an effect, Wilco, that he's also dragging Diego Lugano from the centre of defence to try and neutralise him. It's not working. Kuhl is coming more and more into the game, and despite the fact that ended up being quite a limp shot on goal, it was another good sign for Australia.
Well, the chip downfield, and the first of the ball is Vidmar. Heads it, comes back towards the Australians, and Kalina again square, and cools a cucumber, and sends it to the tracking shape of Chipperfield. And out wide of the left is Kuhl, dancing over the ball again. The feet have them mesmerised. He passes it forward. It falls to Viduka, does it? No! Hooked away from his stride, right on the edge of the area. And now, on halfway, Australia tidy up again as the fresh legs of Jalasheta chase. Wide on the left it goes this time again to Chipperfield. Looks forward to Kuhl. They haven't closed him down yet. Who's to say they can? Kuhl again in space. Turns, still with Kuhl. Lays it up on the left of Bresciano. In centre, he looks for Kale. The header goes wide.
That was the one. That is what Tim Kale is in the team for. Harry Kuhl and Bresciano worked it beautifully down the left-hand side. And Bresciano turned onto his right, or whipped it with his left, and that was the money ball for Tim Kale.
Oh, it was indeed. And it went just wide. He was first there. Another extraordinary piece of play from the Australians. Let's look at the clock. We've got 12 minutes to go of real time. Pushing the back free kick, Uruguay. 28, 38, well, what is it? About 35 metres out from goal. Right in front. Rakova's gone. He's been substituted, quickly taken. It is. And it's now Rodriguez charging in as Kale, as if to make up for the last one. Just hooks it forward. And back goes Montero. Montero's, he pulled a muscle, I reckon. He has. He's gone. Or he's got cramp. Or he's pulled a hamstring.
No, that's not cramp, Wilco. That's a hammy.
He's gone, Montero, in a leisurely stroll to the ball. Oh, it's all going to pieces for Uruguay, but can Australia make it count? And Viduka rightly saying, Aaron Carney, that he should be off the field.
Yes, indeed. And also, this is going to be a huge test of sportsmanship of the Australians. The Uruguayan kicked the ball straight over the sideline. It's Australia's throw 22 metres out. If they want to play hardball, it is the sporting thing to do to give it to the injured player. But there's been that much foxing and gamesmanship, and boys who cried wolf tonight, they'd be quite entitled to go the other way with so much on the line.
Oh, well, what a moment now. Paolo Montero, the veteran captain, he's won 5 championship Serie A with Italy. He comes off after stoic service, 34 years of age. He hobbles off in ungainly fashion, and it's all over for Montero, and he joins Rakova. They'll be showering together.
Well, that's a huge blow for Uruguay. El Grande Capitan Paolo Montero is cutting a very forlorn figure in the Uruguayan dugout as we speak. Jorge Fossati does not look like he knows what he's going to do as a replacement. And a word of warning, Uruguay are never more dangerous than with their backs to the wall.
The ball downfield on Morales in space, nods it on looking for Zalasheta. Free it goes to Schwarzer. He pings it out looking for Kuehl. Kuehl knocks it back coolly again to Chipperfield. He charges too, and it falls free for, oh, what's that for? Studs up. Well, he was going forward. He lost control of the ball slightly, and in an effort to regain, he lunged forward with the studs open and has come up with a free kick, which is slightly a 50-50 one, I thought. But anyway, on it goes.
Well, again, it's Garcia now who takes over the duties of the free kicks. He's about 35 out.
And here goes Garcia, hitting it in. It's Dale Schwarzer there, straight under it, on the 6-yard box. It was floating into the area, but no venom and no trackers from the Uruguayans. 10 minutes to go, 10 minutes and a couple of minutes added on. And then we're into extra time. Are we going there? Are we going deep into that zone? Ball forward. Australia with a chance. Here's Kuehl into the box. Kuehl shoots. Saved! Saved! It was on target. And Kuehl near post went to the low drive. And Carini saved. And another chance for Australia.
Well, this is the time for Australia, Wilco. Harry Kuehl in behind the defence. A right foot shot. This is the corner. The body blow. And now the knockout punch.
Now they're all there, Australia. And it goes in from Bresciano. They queue up. Oh, big still there. No, it's going to be a free kick to Uruguay. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Oh, breathless stuff deep in the end zone of this match. 9 minutes to go. Australia 1, Uruguay 0. It's all square at the moment over the two legs. And Australia questing for the goal that will take them to the World Cup finals. Carini, clearance, goes down towards Zalasheta. It's 1-on-4 here. And again, Lucas Neal equal to the task. But it comes free to Uruguay. And it's fed off on the left side to Reguera. He tucks it into the centre. The Chipperfield again heads it down and hooked free by Grella. Only one downfield and 4. Blue shirts, and Viduka can't control it. Thrown down that left side, and there's a foul, isn't it? No throw in on Varela. Pressing forward again was Chipperfield, who's having a mountain of a game. Scott Chipperfield, perhaps one of his best in Australian colours. And Uruguay have it though, in the danger zone again, just in that final third of the field. But Australia come free again, do they? No, the Uruguay just pick it up a little bit. And is that a free kick or Varela is going to be? No, it's an Australian throw-in. He went down like the proverbial bag of spuds. The referee says play on, and just toying a little bit is Neal, and then a little angled pass from Grella out onto the sideline, and Chipperfield's brought down, and that's an ugly challenge. It's an ugly challenge, and it's came from Marcelo Sosa.
The substitute that has been made by Uruguay. Marcelo Sosa plays for Osasuna in the Spanish Primera Liga.
Well, now it's with Brett Emerton, a couple of metres from halfway. Australia with 7.5 minutes to go now in real time. They lead by 1-0. It's no one's World Cup berth yet. High ball downfield, but it might be. The nod on. All the numbers are forward for a bad pass. And Emerton comes free with it. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't. No, he can't. A valiant attempt.
Well, he's got the next best thing, and that's a throw in deep in Uruguay's territory. Australia with the chance now to cluster the area. Hopefully pinch some cheap possession.
And long ball downfield from Uruguay, hugging the left edge. Out of play, Australian throw in Aaron Carney. It's the end game, and it's fascinating.
A lot has been said about Harry Kuehl's performance down the left in attack. He and Bresciano are actually swapping inside and outside on every second play at the moment. But he also made 2 critical defensive plays in the first half. Hard to believe he was the rusty character we saw in Montevideo 4 days ago. And the reality now is whoever scores in the next 6 minutes is going to Germany.
Well, now the kick-off, the free kick 48 metres out. And Viduka and Kuehl's far post calling for Bresciano. Listen to the crowd rising. They're up. They're stampeding. And Everton pumps it in. Goes to Viduka. Far post and works its way to Kuehl. Just outside the box. The run comes. Kuehl tucks it in at the far post. Oh, it needed to be saved in the end. It went near post. And it was knocked over for a corner kick.
And Harry Kuehl's calling for a handball there. He believes, and probably with a little bit of justice, that Gustavo Varela handled the ball when he looked across it. In any event, Australia have got a corner kick. Bresciano will take it. The corners have been very poor. We need one good one. One good corner from Bresciano.
And here's the corner coming in. The Viduka's there on the edge of the box. Everton's right on the goal line. It goes to Viduka, does it? It comes down to Chipperfield with the shot. Can't get the shot in. It's hooked away. Back it goes to Kalina. Kalina just tosses it high to the area. Far post, knotted down. Chance here. It's out of play again for a goal kick. Oh, it is seat of the stuff. Heart of the seat stuff or whatever it is. It's stuff.
Oh, we knew what you meant, stuff. We knew what you meant, well done.
Oh.
We knew what you meant. And Gus Hood hitting, is just standing on the sideline as though he's watching a team of under-sixes play. Absolutely unflappable. Which is exactly what you need in your coach. And this is going through the whole team, this calmness.
Well, now it's Uruguay, and they could come up with a stunning killer blow, but likewise so could Australia. We've got 4.5 minutes to go of real time. Australia 1, Uruguay 0 for a spot in the World Cup. It's all square, unless bad pass, and Kuhl breaks over halfway. Viduka charges forward with him. Kuhl takes them on, brought down. Is this an off?
No.
Is this a card? It's a yellow. No, Kuhl for a dive.
Now, that is unbelievable. That is absolutely unbelievable.
Well, extraordinary isn't the word for it. Aaron Carney on the touchline again.
Well, and when a man is in possession of the ball in open space, going at goal, still with the ball at his feet, and he is brought down by another player who had no contact with the ball, how on earth can the attacking player get a yellow card? Extraordinary decision.
Now the Uruguayans with the free kick, Viduka sort of appealing to them. 1-0, 3.5 minutes to go now in real time, and probably, I'd say with injury time, a couple of minutes added on. They don't have Montero, they don't have Recoba. Well, there'll be an investigation in Uruguay should they not come away here on halfway, although the Montero one was a direct injury. Had one on the right to Varela. Australia just robbed them coolly, playing a nice little triangle there out on the left side. Poor pass forward though, surrenders possession to Uruguay, but it's hooked aimlessly up in the air by Diogo, who was the star over in Uruguay in Montevideo, but he's been sublimely beaten today by Harry Kuhl on that side on many occasions. As we watch now Australia with a throw in, Bresciano lurking in the centre, in a central striking position, as Lucas Newell has it 8 from halfway, gives it now to Jason Kalina. Long ball to Emerton in space. Can he knot it down inside? He can, but there's a Uruguayan shirt, and he feeds it away to Ruggiero on the left, 2 after him, and he still comes through with it. There's a free kick the other way to Australia.
Oh, these can go anywhere, these decisions from referee.
Here's Grella, sorry Andy, play on, we'll watch it with just 2.5 to go of real time, as it's with Jason Kalina playing a deeper role. Emerton again giving them width on the right. Will he get it? He does so, looking for the pass. Yes, it comes to Bresciano. In the centre is Viduka. Viduka's in the centre, Kuhl far post. He can't get it there, corner!
Well, we asked for it last time, they got a corner from the Australians.
Oh no, it's no corner.
No, it's definitely a corner.
On the crowd going ballistic.
Well, it's turned into a lottery, some of these decisions. That's unbelievable. Still, it is what it is. And that, according to the referee and the assistant referee, is a goal kick, which Carini, the Uruguayan goalkeeper, will take. And 90 minutes is almost up.
And there's the high ball sent downfield. Any goal here, and it's curtains. And here goes, it's Zalasheta on the edge of the box in the centre. They move forward for Rayla, but it's knocked out of play by Lucas Newell. A cool bit of defensive pressure again, and they're holding firm. And Uruguay, what do they have? Or do they have the blow that are going to send Australian hopes sprawling? Or can Australia, who've had 3 or 4, they've had those chances again. Is it going to be a case of what might have been? We can't say that yet, but Uruguay with a throw in, 10 metres out from the goal line. And 10. And now they can't find Zalasheta. And Chipperfield just hooks it high downfield looking for Viduka. 1-on-1, not out of play by Lugano. Yes, no, and yes, finally out of play.
Well, Viduka's been getting curry all night from these defenders. And now somehow the referee again from Spain, Cantalejo, has decided that Uruguay deserve a free kick. Bless my soul if I can see why, but nevertheless, They're the one man with the whistle who decides these things, and it's a free kick for Uruguay, just inside Australia's half. 30 seconds to go in 90 minutes.
Well, now the Australians defending, still on their toes. The free kick coming in from a long way out. A long way out, high, looking for the tall timber upfield, and it bounces through, and to Morales. Morales on the byline, a couple of metres out from the box on the left side, tries an audacious back heel. Oh, he was almost brought down. He went down. The referee had a quizzical look at it. I tell you what, wasn't much in it, but he tried the magic, and he didn't come up with the ball. But Uruguay have a throw in back near halfway after the clearance. 3 minutes, time added on. The big sign goes up with a red 3. 3 minutes until extra time, if that is to be the case. The throw-in comes, and it's Uruguay. No, Australia hook it clear by Colina, up to Viduka, first to the ball, pressured again, up goes Bresciano, and the ball hooked over the shoulder, and both sides now probably clinging on for extra time here. 1-0 Australia over Uruguay, a night of the highest drama in Australian sport. And it's still going, and it has a way to go yet. The throw in from Uruguay. Downfield on Morales, bit of space, but knocked out from Colina, just out off his hip. But he hooked the foot around the big man's hip and tucked it out of play. Throw in though. The man marking at the back seems secure for Australia, or is it? Here's Zalacheta. Can he get the shot in? Can he get it in? He lays the ball back now to Sosa, and it only goes as far as Bresciano. Look to be impeded there and gets a free kick.
Well, that's good defending from Australia as the time is clicking away for the end of the normal top period of the match. They're under immense pressure in that closing stages there. Well, you would imagine one last opportunity to seal this now. Schwarzer to launch it long.
And here it goes, high downfield. Viduka again can't get the better of his opponent, but it's hooked back in. It might bounce free. No, it doesn't. It comes to Ruggiero, and he just hooks it downfield. The legs were tired chasing. And here's the fresh man, Zalacheta. Morales is in the centre. Zalacheta takes them on. Can he get the cross in though? He still has the ball. Neil misses at the first attempt. Comes again, chopping at him like a machete. The ball laid back to Ruggiero. High it is. Is it Schwarzer's ball? It is. Schwarzer takes it out of the air. Quick release to Kuhl. The battle with Diogo. Diogo wins it and wins the... the referee says it's a free kick to Australia. 10 metres from halfway for that push, but just looked to be a 50-50 contest with the ball. We've only got inside a minute and a half to go before half an hour of extra time. And an extended program of football here tonight on your local ABC radio, if that's to be the case. Can Australia snatch it in the last minute or so? Kuhl has the ball now. Dances. Kuhl, though, beaten. It's thrust downfield, thrashed away. And it's going to come back into the box. Kale's there. And so too the keeper. Carini takes it just on the fingertips. It was a slightly nervous take as he advanced outside his 6-yard box to leap high and grab the ball. And he kicks it downfield. Extra time! The crowd rises! Australia have achieved part one of the equation in that they're still alive at the end of 90 minutes. They haven't won, but they're still alive. Let's look at the faces and go down, before we hear from Andy Harper, to Aaron Carney on the touchline. Aaron.
It's almost like everybody was waiting for that full-time whistle to go. They want extra time, and they want a result down here to go Australia's way. Look, something has changed here tonight. I hope these aren't famous last words, Wilco, but in previous World Cup campaigns, we've seen Australia crumble under the pressure. We've seen the mental factor just become too much for them. Right now, they are the ones with the springs in their steps. They are the ones with their chest puffed out. They did not look like breaking down in the second half of that second half. Uruguay, injuries, bad body language, arguing with the referee. They look like a team that didn't think they can win. They've now got half an hour to turn that around.
Well, don't be fooled, Aaron Carney, or people at the ground who may be listening, or those listening at home or wherever you are around Australia. I said during the call that Uruguay are never, ever more dangerous than when you think they're on the canvas for the count. They look tired, most certainly. They've lost their talisman in Alvaro Recoba, and they've lost El Grande Capitan, the big captain, Paulo Montero. And you would think with the weight of possession and the home crowd that Australia has the aces in its hand. But we must beware. We must be very wary of this team from South America. The team, the little country from the River Plate that changed the way the world viewed football in the 1930s. They make football, more than anyone, a global phenomenon, and they are fighting for their World Cup lives. On the other side of the equation is Australia, who are fighting for their qualification, very qualification lives. The first time in 32 years to get to the holy grail of sport, with the late Johnny Warren bestriding the stadium now, I'm sure, willing his team on into this extra time period. The scores are 1-1 on aggregate. Australia still needs its second goal to win. If Uruguay score, Australia is in real trouble. And if it finishes at 1-0 at full time, we go to penalties.
Oh, and what a high drama that would be. And we're watching the two sides now go through their paces. Half an hour. The golden goal rule is obsolete. And that just means that there's half an hour of energy-sapping football to come. And we look at Jason Kalina, he still looks fresh. Mark Viduka looks fresh. Lucas Neal's had an absolute blinder tonight. I think he's made one half error all night, Lucas Neal. It's been a conclusive performance in a central defensive role. Lucas
Neal has been absolutely phenomenal tonight. He's got another half an hour to remain phenomenal. Mark Viduka has been swamped by Uruguay's back four. Viduka's played without support. It's almost as though Australia have conceded his position and they've looked to exploit wide areas. But it's just as likely for Mark Viduka to pop up when the chance comes and to slam one home. It's certainly what his country needs, and it's certainly what his own personal confidence would need. But Harry Kewell down the left-hand side, revelationary form, there's such a word. Absolutely fantastic inclusion since he came on. A horrible miss kick. The Australians now, in a hitherto unseen action, the entire squad gathering as a huddle. Coaching staff, training staff, medical staff, Gus Hiddink in the middle. I haven't quite seen anything like this from a national football team of this country. And if will counts for anything, these boys will give it a shake.
They've been absolutely superb throughout this match, and they have had the chances to steal it in real time. And we don't want to go there at the moment because they're very much alive. But Harry Kewell, the near post, the header from Tim Cahill was probably the one you'd expect him to nail on his Everton form over the last couple of years.
Well, 12 months ago, you reckon that would have rattled the back of the net. But all things work out. Uruguay, in truth, have had the best two chances of the game. Recover in the first half, and Richard El Chengue Morales in the second half, who somehow contrived to head the ball wide of the goal when it was open, and asking for nothing more than to welcome his header into the goal of Australia. So the chances have evened out. The score is even. We've got 30 minutes of painstaking, heart-throbbing action to come. And Australia on the precipice. We've got 30 minutes of painstaking, heart-throbbing action to come. And Australia on the precipice.
Well, they are absolutely on the precipice. And there is Harry Kewell and Brett Everton. He's been in scintillating form tonight too. He's the one who's played all the games that the Socceroos have played here against various opposition, including Manchester United and the World All-Stars and Brazil and New Zealand. But no opposition quite like this one tonight in a match of this import. It is Uruguay for a place in the World Cup finals. It's been such an elusive dream for Australian football. Is this it? It's never looked better. The omens going back to Uruguay when Mark Schwarzer made those two unbelievable saves to deny Recoba and also Morales. They were world class. And tonight again, as Andy mentioned, those two saves, or the two missed opportunities, he didn't have to save them. But Recoba, he missed from point blank range. And the other chance, the header, straight in front. And now it is extra time. Stay with us, please, on ABC Radio throughout the country. Peter Wilkins, Andy Harper, and quickly down on the sideline, Aaron Carney.
Well, Harry Kewell, after playing such a critical role in that second half, was the man leading his troops out there in that half-time or that full-time break before extra time as we get underway in the second half. He is the man leader, and of course he's had 20 minutes less than everybody else.
Well, now Australia immediately pumping onto the attack. But it's going to be the Uruguayans with a throw-in down the left edge of the field. And we watch the ball knocked around. It's going to be a free kick to Uruguay just inside the Australian half. And we'll just keep an eye on this extra time. I'm not seeing the clock ticking away on the top of the screen there. Perhaps they haven't got the 15 minutes each way. We better find out get our own counter started here as we watch the Uruguayan team now. 48 metres out from goal. And repeating any sort of goal from Uruguay would make it very, very difficult. Australia would then need to high ball into the area. Looks dangerous. Up they go, but Schwarzer again sails through the air to take it. Emerton on the chase, hustles forward. He looks like he just started the match as well. Emerton takes on the defence, then releases it to Bresciano. Just let the ball loose out of his grasp or the foot. But he gets the throw in. It came off Uruguayan legs. Forward to Maduka. Takes it on the chest. Beautiful layoff to Kale. Kale tries the long cross but wins a corner. Ricochets off Rodriguez. Another Uruguayan down on the edge of the area. Well, I'm not sure what happened there. But it is Dario Rodriguez, the goal scorer from Montevideo.
He was just trying to milk it, Wilco. Nothing wrong with him. Just what's termed in the game professionalism. Bresciano from the right-hand side.
And they're all there in the centre. Bresciano now with a teaser. Near post. Hooked away. No trouble at all for Zalacheta. And Kalina's up there, challenging for the ball on the edge of the area. They nodded away through Morales. Only as far as Grella. Hooks it back in. Is he onside? He is Viduka. Can't get the better of his opponent. And there's Vidmar tracking back. Nodded forward. Out on the left is Kuhl from... Here goes Kuhl now. Oh, takes it to the byline. Kuhl gets the cross in. No. And it's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, but a good start again. The early moments of extra time. Australia has to stay absolutely focused and concentrating. They have to keep pushing Uruguay the way they did the first 90 minutes. There's 2.5 gone now in the first period of extra time.
Listen to the crowd in full voice. The 12th man tonight, baying for a World Cup position. Uruguay with the ball. Sosa battling with Grella. Grella wins out but surrenders the free kick. 4 metres, slightly contentious one I might say. 4 metres inside the opposition territory as Pablo Garcia, stoic as ever, stands over the ball. And Dario Rodriguez feigns the kick and then reviews the situation and goes back to take it again. Plenty of green and gold shirts back as it's chipped into the edge of the box. Who's there? Up goes Zalacheta, through though to the safe hands of Mark Schwarzer. On the bounce it was, no power. And the Big Panther can't make that one count. He did score a hat-trick against Colombia recently, which is a cause for concern as the ball downfield to Australia. And Viduka not pushed in the back. It's going to come free. There's a heavy challenge there, but it comes through to Kalina inside the centre circle. Back to Grella. Tips it forward, looking for Kale. Nods it out wide on the right there to Emerton again, lurking positively. Knocks it back though, not one of his best balls. And Schwartz is going to be forced to come back out. He takes it on the foot outside his area. Well, they don't want any stuff up here. And Lucas Neal says, I'll just pump it high downfield. Was there a suggestion to offside? Kyle is through. Well, it was a very late call, I thought. A very, very late call from the touch judge, as though he reviewed the situation, Aaron Carney, and said, we'll have the flag up.
Yes, indeed. Wilco, there might be 82,698 people in the Olympic Stadium here tonight, but I wouldn't want to have the chip or pie franchise. Every single one of them is sitting on their seats. There's no one in the stairwells. There's no one in the bars. Every single person is glued to this action.
Now, Carini from the set play, free kick down to Morales. Again, the free header there. That's a tactic, obviously. Down to Varela. Can he get control of the ball? Varela on the left foot. Low scuffing drive. Straight in the path of Neal. It ricochets up the halfway from the Neal boot. Only as far though was Logano, and he hooks it out of play. And another substitution, and it is John Aloisi, who is going to come on with a long time to go. A notorious goal poacher. He pinched 4 in the Confederations Cup. Can he do the same here and win it for Australia? And the kick through, though, was just nodded back calmly by Tony Vidmar, as Emerton has a 10 from halfway. Coming at him is Reguera, who's still going strongly. Back now to Vidmar. Across he goes at the back, about 20 metres from halfway to Lucas Neal. Chipperfield's available on the left. It goes to Chipperfield now, and back it goes there to Lucas Neal, surveying the situation forward. Viduka trying not to lurk offside upfield, and they're waiting to pull a few numbers forward, but they don't want to toy with it too much. Morales now coming to Neal. Finally the ball goes downfield. Viduka's offside in the exact position he was a moment ago. Although it wasn't by much, but Logano, a very clever play marking him, just shifted his ground a few centimetres or so, and the linesman, the assistant referee on this side, put his flag in the air as the replacement is made, and the goal scorer Marco Bresciano comes off to a pat on the head from Gus Hiddink, and gee, he can make a substitution, can't he? The Harry Gill one paid off.
Yeah.
Is the John Aloisi one going to pay off?
Well, that's a good point. Now, Uruguay persisting with this good tactic of theirs. They've got a certain physical advantage up front. Zalayeta and Morales up front. Very difficult to beat when the ball's in the air, and Uruguay persist with this tactic. Australia need to be very careful that they don't overcommit players forward. Gus Hiddink got it right the first time with Harry Kuehl, and let's hope he's got it right the second time with John Aloisi.
Well, here's Emerton leaving the ball forward, looking for Aloisi. So one-on-one, ball on the inside to Reguera, and they tidy up Uruguay at the back. It goes now to Pablo Garcia, and he's just doing it all himself. A beautiful back heel, sliding it away from Viduka and then gaining possession. Beautiful drag back there, wonderful skill. Ball forward now. It goes up to Jalacheta. Little knock in the back on the Achilles tendon. Coming in from Neal, quickly taken, and Lucas Neal remonstrating. Here's the shot from Varela. Varela shoots. Oh, it's a sizzler, but wide. Oh, wide. And Lucas Neal, well, that's a lesson for anyone watching. Play the ball.
Well, that's exactly right, and that's the moment that you've got to concentrate. Lucas Neal didn't believe he gave away the free kick, but the referees awarded it. And a very quick take it was from Uruguay, and they were away.
And they throw it, thread it down the right side as Australia. Plenty of Celeste Church back there, and they just pump it forward over halfway. Again, trapped on the chest nicely by Vidmar, but that's a pretty ordinary ball, and there might have been a bit of hand in there as well. Aaron Carney, could it get any more inspirational than this, any more passionate than this?
31 years of football history in this country is coming down to the next 24 or so minutes. There's another substitution for the Uruguayans. If John Aloisi, Mark Viduka, Harry Kuehl, any of them want to write themselves into Australian folklore of sport forever, now is the time.
This is a good change from Uruguay. Fabian Stoyanov, when players are tiring, the speed that he's got could really hurt Australia.
And Sosa releases it to Stoyanov, and Stoyanov's going to take them on here. The dancing white boots easily beats Kuehl, takes it to the byline, thrashes in the cross. It's headed over the goal line by Vince Grella, who has had another stoic game too, but it's a corner to Uruguay, and about the only benefit here is they don't have Recoba on the end of it to wheel in a wicked one, but they've got instead a Stoyanov, and they're queuing up in the centre, Uruguay. It's not dead if they score here, but it's close, and they're in the centre. Up go they over, they head over. Oh, and it was Rodriguez, Guillermo Rodriguez with a header 7 metres out from goal, and it went over.
Well, it was, again, slightly faulty defending from Australia, and Rodriguez had a great sight at that and got a good purchase on the ball. He really should have done better. That was a gilt-edged chance for Uruguay to take a lead on aggregate.
Well, now leaping up as Aloisi doesn't win out, but it might fall to through ball it comes. It didn't fall to Kale as I suspected, and it goes all the way through to Schwarzer from a quick release from the Uruguayan defence, and Schwarzer doesn't waste any time, hoists it high over the halfway line.
Garcia smashed Aloisi.
He did. That's a free kick. And no card comes out. Has he got a yellow already, Garcia?
He is carrying a yellow card, is Pablo Garcia. I think a very kind piece of adjudication.
Well, is there going to be a glancing blow here from Viduka perhaps, or Aloisi? And Kuehl was there, hands on hips. Emerton for the run. With Bresciano substituted, it's going to be Chipperfield to take it. And he looks for the big men upfield. Kyle is there as well. And it's Chipperfield. And he's just looking for them there. Viduka, Kyle. Aloisi. John Aloisi dancing inside the box. Chipperfield just waiting over the ball. The tension's unbearable. The referee remonstrating with Tim Kyle and also a couple of the Uruguayans. How's Mark Viduka's Spanish, I wonder?
How's his temperament? That's a more important question at the moment. There's all sorts of argy-bargy in the Uruguay penalty area at the moment. Chipperfield lining up the free kick.
And he throws it in. It's dangerous towards the keeper. Brilliant take from Carini, left high on the edge of the 6-yard box. He was challenged by Viduka, but he managed to secure it in the grip. And we've had 10.5 minutes of extra time. And had the ball through, and Uruguay have a chance here. Stoyanov on the edge of the box. It's still there. It goes to Morales. He squares it to Zalaceta. And somehow it's still there. Sosa over off the ricochet. They've survived Australia, and the Portents still go with him, but I don't know how.
Well, that was Mark Schwarzer. Brilliant work from Schwarzer. In fact, it wasn't Schwarzer. It was Tony Vidmar.
Well, now the corner kick of a danger. Not gone for Australia, Stoyanov, and they move in, and here it is, they go high, off the head of Vidmar, only as far as Garcia, hustles for the ball, out on the left, can he hook it back in at ricochets, and now Viduka sends it over halfway where there are no green and gold shirts. Back it goes deep there, and Rodriguez phones it forward, Stoyanov's into the box, Schwarzer calls for it, bounds forward, grabs it, and a release at the same time to Q down the left, striding forth, over halfway, takes on the defender, takes on Diogo. Will he come inside him? He still hugs that edge of the field, and Diogo, 3 there, make a good tackle. Gill says, I'll come back and get you. And he gets the free kick or the throw-in. And they're cheek to cheek. And I tell you what, they're not dancing, Carlos Diogo and Harry Gill.
Fantastic commitment from Harry Kuehl. He had 3 around him there. He beat them for all money. But somehow the 3 Uruguayans managed to steal the ball. Kuehl's won it back. It's a throw-in for Australia deep in Uruguay's territory.
Oh, can they score the decisive goal here, Australia? The throw back. It goes now to Grella. Grella 30 metres out. Sends it to Emerton. Might try his luck. Emerton! Oh, it was just wide. He launched the right foot. He withdrew it. He hit it. And it went wide. 1-0 still to Australia. Oh, and we've got just a couple of minutes to go in the first period of extra time. World Cup finals. That's the glory for the winner of this contest. Will it be in extra time? Will it be on penalties? As Uruguay nodded on. And just in the last couple of minutes, they've been looking a little more dangerous. But Australia wins the free kick. 17, 18 metres out, more than that, about 25 out from their own line. And the player is down injured.
It's Lucas Neal and Richard Morales again fouling on the aerial possession challenge. And a number of the Uruguayan players, Morales, Pablo Garcia, Lugano, repetitive fouls. And the referee is letting them get away with it. He's been very kind. And Lucas Neal is in trouble.
Well, now it's going to be Schwarzer, 25 metres from halfway. And he launches it down towards Aloisi and Viduka. And also nodded on it is. Will Aloisi get the bounce? No, Garcia with the header. Back it comes though. Kuehl. Kuehl facing away from goal. It's pumped downfield by Uruguay. And we're going to have a free kick for the challenge. The errant challenge by Australia, Aaron Carney. It just keeps on going deep into extra time. 1.5 minutes of the first period to go. Then another 15 minutes. And a few people were tipping penalties. I didn't believe it was true, and it's still not yet.
Wilco, 103 minutes already gone, and you've got to tip your hat to both of these sides. The transition from attack to defence is extraordinary. Both sides.
Oh, here's the kick down. Sorry, yeah, the kick downfield just bounced to Schwarzer. Sorry, Aaron.
No, not at all. Just the way both sides are getting back behind the ball and then somehow mounting attack at the other end, led by Harry Kuehl for Australia and by Morales predominantly for Uruguay. They're extraordinary athletes.
Well, now the throw into Australia as Rodriguez was forced to knock it out of play, and they're only 27 metres out, Australia, working the left. Heading south is Australia. A sea of green and gold in the stadium. They're building up. The tension is high. Here's Kuehl. Can he make it count? Can he get the cross in towards? He's challenged. Free kick! Free kick! And it is 5 metres from the box and 2 metres out from the goal line on the left. And here is just the gilt-edged opportunity in the last minute of the first period of extra time as Emerton comes across. Aloisi waits in the centre, and so too up comes Tony Vidmar, and the crowd rises one here, willing the goal. Kuehl is near post. Far post it goes to Aloisi. Can he knock it back? Knocked out. There's the shot. Oh, it's hooked away. It was a brilliant hit. Still there from Australia. It comes back to Kalina. Knocks it forward offside. And that's the end of the first period of extra time. But it was Scott Chipperfield with the drive into a sea of legs. And it almost found its way through.
Well, it was certainly goal bound. Chipperfield, whose right foot is normally for getting on the Bellambi bus, which he used to drive down in Wollongong, Wilco. That was going for the goal, and the sea of legs, the jungle of legs, just refused to give passage to that football, and immediately thereafter the referee has signalled the end of the first period of extra time, and this is just incredible. This, Aaron Carney's quite right. This game has not stopped, and you have to pay tribute to both sets of players. They have been going hammer and tongs for 90 minutes plus 15, so you do the maths. My brains are gone scrambled. Absolutely crucial now that the players take a deep breath on both sides. That team which wants to win it the most needs to take a deep breath, even a Valium if that's legal, at least metaphorically, and gather themselves for the final 15-minute onslaught. The key about Aloisi, Wilco, is not just that he's a goal sneak, but he lends support to Mark Viduka, which he hasn't had for 90-odd minutes. The Australian crowd has risen as one. They're singing in full unison. There's flags being waved around the stadium. There's scarves being flung. There's absolute mayhem that is pending here, 15 minutes away. And the Australians have been absolutely magnificent. Uruguay, for their part, have never given up, and nor will they give up. We have 15 minutes right on the edge of the seat. This is going to be a killer.
Well, it is going to be a killer. And Uruguay with the ball for the second period of extra time. The timing on that, they've played exactly 110 minutes. And it's knocked down the edge of the field. And scuttling forward now is Uruguay. And they peel it forward there. But a good defensive work then from Lucas Neal. Out to Harry Kuehl on the edge and just budges it downfield. Offside, though, is Aloisi. Oh, dear.
Now, that's what Aloisi will do, Wilco. He'll hug that last line. Viduka's been sprung offside a number of times. But Aloisi will be a little smarter. Now that Viduka's got some support up there, he doesn't feel like he has to take that extra advantage. Aloisi hugs the line very well. You can expect him to ping this defence if they give him too much space.
Well, now the Australians, 18 metres from halfway. That's going to be hooked down the field by Chipperfield. Aloisi, Viduka, Kuehl. That's the hat-trick, the strike force hat-trick upfield. And what's happening? He's being sent off here. He's being ejected. Is he?
Yes.
He is. The Uruguayan manager, well, he's been ejected from the bench. Well, he goes back. Well, he's not going anywhere. There's the kick downfield. And up goes Aloisi. And he goes as far as Emerton. Emerton will take them on. Sends it to Kyle. Back it goes now to Jason Kalina. He's run all day like a deer. On field to Grella. Kuehl tries to beat his man again. And the challenge comes in from Diogo and does well. Carlos Diogo. Kuehl will take the quick throw in. And it's Viduka there inside the box. He leaves it though to Scott Chipperfield. 15 metres out from the goal line. On the left side. Australia on the attack. We're at the zenith here. We're in the end zone. Kuehl facing away from goal. Back heel, beautiful into the area. Viduka, can he get the shot on? Lays it back to Emerton. He can't find Viduka again. Where's the shot, Brett? And forward they go. But to no one. The ball forward. And Uruguayan legs, they're very tired. As though they've been running down in the regions of South America.
What about the presence of mind from Harry Kuehl there to employ a back heel in the second period of extra time with your World Cup future hanging in the balance? Emerton, I agree. He looked to offload responsibility there, and I feel he should have had a crack at goal.
And here's Aloisi. He's made a run. It's a great run. He's onside. Aloisi, can he go? Oh, the goalkeeper and the defender, Lugano, conjured up a brilliant stymie there of the chasing John Aloisi. Brilliant run from the onside position as now Uruguay pump it forward and deep. And here's Morales, the twin strike force. Jalaceta on the edge of the box, lays the ball back. Who's there for Uruguay? Sosa. He sends it back. Kuehl comes in to intercept. Has the Spriggs slightly open. Diogo says that's a throw in. He wants a free kick for the open Spriggs. and they're not going to be inviting each other to Christmas this year. Diogo and also Harry Kuehl. Ball back to Diogo now, and he's challenged by Grella. Appeal for handball. It's given to. And Grella says, "You're kidding, referee." Vince Grella, who's been an enormous towering force in the middle of the park tonight for Australia. And the free kick taken. Kuehl said, "Well, that's taken. I've robbed you of the ball." And the referee says, "No, we'll have it to Carlos Diogo."
They've got a 15-metre advantage on that free kick. The referee has just let Uruguay throw that ball 15 metres in a more advanced position than they deserved.
Well, now here's a Stoyanov, and the crowd seeing something happen to Jorge Fossati out of his seat again. And now he brings it back and then chucks it forward again, does Stoyanov. Well, they're there in the centre, looking for the crushing blow, and it's a dangerous one. Schwarzer commits. Beautiful run.
That's the way, Mark Schwarzer. That's the tonic that goes through the whole team when you come off your line like that.
And the Australians release from deep. Is this the moment that they can string a few passes together? They chance the high ball down to Viduka, bouncing towards Kuehl. Kuehl gets it down. Can he get the shot in? Kuehl tips it forward, still with Kuehl, but the numbers back there rescue Uruguay. Kuehl can't get the shot in. He had Aloisi looming up on the left. Ball forward from Uruguay. Over halfway. They trail a goal to nil. It's all square. We're in extra time. Deep in extra time now. Uruguay have it. Jalacheta tackled, and Australia come up with again. Brilliantly chested infield by Kuehl. To Grella, then onto Aloisi over halfway. Challenge from behind, looked like a free kick, and it is it? Yes, it is.
Well, former teammates there, Aloisi and Richard Morales, teammates at Osasuna for the last couple of seasons in the Spanish League, absolutely going at each other verbally there, and it's a yellow card for Morales. A yellow card for Morales, and it's long overdue, I've got to say, for repetitive fouls. And a change for Australia, Wilco. Brett Emerton's made way for Joe Skoko.
Josip Skoko onto the field now. For an important role, perhaps, who knows? And it could be looking ahead to the penalty situation as well with that substitution, with Josip Skoko, a fine striker of the dead ball. But we're not there yet, and do we really want to get there? I'd prefer to see the winner in extra time from the Australians. As we watch now, Australia tucking the ball. The run is made by Kuehl, way down the left edge, almost to the byline. Looks for the quick release, trying to win a corner and does so. What happened there?
Well, Harry played for the corner, but the referee believed the second rebound came off Kuehl. It's a goal kick for Uruguay. And Fabian Carini just ambles over to pick the ball up and ambles back to place it into the penalty area, into the goal area for the goal kick. Carini's been magnificent today for Uruguay, absolutely magnificent. Can't be held responsible for the goal that was conceded, but has been magnificent otherwise. He's launched the goal kick now. It sails over halfway, where Kuehl challenges and wins for Skoko.
And now it's with Uruguay, just the heel forward, looking for Morales. Grella's there to tidy up in the centre of the field, 15 from halfway. Bad release, and Uruguay here with a half chance. He tackles back well though, Grella, to make up for his error. Still with Uruguay. Chip forward down the right edge. Out of play. Aaron Carney. And Australia will look for a quick throw. We'll come down to you in a moment, Aaron. It's climbed to the heights this game, and we've got to stay with every kick, every throw in, as we have just 8.5 minutes to go in real time before some would call one of the great blights on the game of world soccer. Others would call it one of the greatest features of the game, the penalty shootout. But the prize is such a gold one, and the challenge is such a big one, to stand up and take a penalty with your nation's hope resting on your back. We're not there yet. Australia with a free kick, and they're 24 metres out. And now this is going to be taken by Skoko, and they rise again. Aloisi's there, so too Viduka. Skoko fires it in, and up they go, and it's taken by Carini, and Viduka was so close, and so too was the tall timber up there of Vidmar and the other players as they scuttle back to resume their positions. And downfield goes Carini. No mistakes here. And Australia back in possession with Kuehl. Room to move on the left side. He tracks forward. Two come at him. Will he fire the early ball? He takes them on. Little bit of a hand on the shoulder from Sosa. Takes two on, but he can't beat Diogo. Diogo full of concentration, Carlos. Bad ball inside, but it does find Morales. Feeds it back to Sosa. Then on the edge to Stoyanov. Good play from Uruguay. Australia pressing though. Win possession. Harry Kuehl comes up with it. And it goes, no, it doesn't go far post, but he almost goes back to Grella. It does now. Grella, can he launch one? Aloisi Aloisi sets it up back to Kalina. Kalina looking for the opportunity. Stands on the ball. Goes back the other way to Kalina. Stands on it again after getting the ball back. Forward he goes into the area. Here's Skoko. Skoko across the centre, headed out for a corner by Garcia.
Just fantastic stuff from Australia. Kalina jinked one way, jinked the other. Then he released Joe Skoko. As Skoko's cross was firing for the penalty area, but it was Garcia who knocked out for a corner.
And they're all queuing up here. The crowd baying for the victory. Aloisi's there, and it comes in quickly, and they leap high. It's still on the edge of the area with Grella, is it? No, there's a push, and it's a free kick. Aaron Carney.
It is absolutely unbearable down here. People are up and down and screaming as they clash out there on the field. Once again, it's getting very short between, in particular, Aloisi and the goalkeeper for Uruguay, Collini. There's now only 6.5 minutes or less left. I guess the question is, do we want to see it go to penalties?
Well, the answer to that's very obvious, Aaron Carney, no. But Carini again has been a mountain back there. Tim Cahill was pinged up for a push in the back from that free kicking corner.
Well, it's nodded on by Uruguay. In the chase, though, Stoyanov slips over, still with Australia. It'll need clearing by Kalina. Well, he does so well. He knew a high ball would ricochet off his opponent, so he passed on the right side, and he found Cahill. The run comes from Aloisi. Onside again. Viduka's in the centre. So too Kuhl. Edge of the box, right side. Comes back to Skoko. Here's Viduka. Oh, Viduka had the chance, but Diego Lugano stuck out the leg and impeded the shots. Oh, it was so close. So close.
Well, that is what La Celeste is all about. Desperation at the final moment. Skoko with the corner.
And the corner's going to come in. Viduka's there. Aloisi there. Kuhl far post. And they go near post, but it's a poor corner. Headed away by Garcia. And Kalina sends it back in again. And Skoko's going to rip it back in near post. And a header, diving header away by Uruguay. Only as far though as Kalina again. And they come back again at them, Australia. Wave after wave of attack. Kuhl now. He's going to pump it in near post. And it's knotted on. And Aloisi can't get the shot in off the boot of Garcia. Back it comes in now from Vidmar. On the bounce, headed away by Lugano up to halfway. Kuhl's going to secure possession. Feeds it back to Australia by Lucas Neal. Aloisi makes another run upfield. Is it going to go all the way to him? No, it's not. It's headed down. Varela on the chest. Cahill challenges him. Comes up with the ball legitimately. Trapped at the feet by Kulina. He sends it down now to Skoko. Already having an impact. Viduka's in the centre of the field. Viduka's the target. Up he goes. Punched away by Carini. Chance for Skoko. Drives. Hits it wide. Oh dear. Oh dear. Does it get any better?
Sport doesn't get any better than this, Peter Wilkins. Absolutely incredible stuff. Viduka challenged manfully for that cross. It's come to his best mate in international football, Joe Skoko, whose shot's just a metre wide. He volleyed that beautifully, did Skoko, controlled on his chest and lashed with the volley, and it's gone a metre wide.
And there's the kick out. 4 minutes to go before penalties. And here comes the Celeste again. But they're surrounded by the green and gold. But the free kick is given away. It looked to be a legitimate challenge. 37 metres out from goal. Just to the left of the goal is this free kick. And they move forward. The Celeste never dead. They won their 2 World Cup finals coming from behind. In 1930 they came back from behind to beat Argentina. In 1950 they came from behind to beat Brazil. Oh dear. Here they go. Garcia thunders it in, and the header away from Lucas Neal. Only as far as Varela knocks it in, and it's a chance for Morales. Hits it. Oh, just wide. Just wide. Across the face of goal, and just wide. And it had beaten the keeper.
It had beaten everyone. That shot from El Chengue. Richard Morales. A header not quite clearing the defensive lines. Uruguay knocked it straight back into the danger zone. Morales chests it down and shoots, and it squeezes just across the face of goal.
There's a high kick over the halfway line. Here's Harry Kuhl now. The interception. Let's look at the clock. 2.5 to go. It's the death or glory now with a goal. High, thunderous ball. Dangerous. Oh, he fell over, Jalasheta, trying to buy a free kick. He had no legs. This man does. Kalina rattles forward. He's got Cahill with him. Still with the ball. He options it high downfield to Kuhl. Can't get the header on the ball. Is it going to be a corner? I think it's a goal kick. It is. Good decision. Not well received by the crowd, but nonetheless a good decision.
And it's Carini again, who's cutting a familiar figure across the back for Uruguay. their goalkeeper, their custodian, and one of their heroes tonight. A couple of minutes to go before we have the heartache of penalties. The crowd is chipping in again. They haven't stopped for the last 2.5 hours.
2 minutes to go. Australia looking for the conclusive strike. It's up over halfway, nodded on by Morales. Back into the fray goes Aloisi. Aloisi just inside the opposition territory. Ball pass, an errant one as Stoyanov intercepts, and bringing the player down, Sosa, is Josip Skoko. Free kick to Uruguay on the halfway line. Oh dear, 1.5 to go. And the big man is far post. Well, one of them, that's Jalacheta, and Morales is near post right on the edge of the area. The Australians tantalising them. Garcia hooks it in, and to Morales, and here's Jalacheta, and it's saved by Schwarzer off the line. Unbelievable! Australia survived, and now it's forward to Viduka, tries to knock it on. He's offside, is he? Yes, he is. Oh, it was marginal. Aloisi was released by Kuhl down the left. But the flag went up from the
free kick for Australia, Wilco. Aloisi was offside, but Harry Kuhl was fouled from behind.
Oh, the header, well, it didn't have any power, really, but it was still going towards goal, and the big left mitt came out. Well, here's Sosa remonstrating with the referee. We have got 34 seconds to go before penalties. One last thrust from Australia to win it in real time. Kuhl, Aloisi, Viduka lurk, so too Tim Cahill, the quartet. Can they sing a song here with a goal? 28 seconds to go. There's the kick in. It's almost through. And who's there pushing the back free kick?
Oh, what a party pooper the referee is. Amongst that crowd of players, he somehow picked a foul against Australia. Not to say that it wasn't, but he's got eyes like a hawk, and I guess that's his job. He and the assistant referee on the far side, the eastern sideline. And Carini launches the ball for La Celeste.
And they go downfield, and
that's it.
And it's going to penalties. It is penalties to decide who goes to Germany 2006 after an extraordinary match of football. 120 minutes of energy unbridled from these two teams. Australia, the better side, unquestionably throughout the match, and they've just failed to snatch it in real time by a whisker, and the crowd is enthralled. And at full time, well, at the end of extra time, they rose as one to support the side, and now realising the enormity of what's about to occur, they sit down here, and they're going to really hoot and holler against the Uruguayans, and there'll be dead calm here for the Australians, that's for sure. Well, you'd hope so.
Yeah, at least in an auditory sense. Just incredible. On the way to the game, I mentioned I was lucky enough to catch the training with Paul Trimboli, one of Australia's great exponents of this sport, and we looked at each other and we thought, it's going to go to penalties. And then we thought, who would want to be one of those players? And on the back of that, you'd rather be one of the players than one of the supporters, because at least they've got a chance to do something about it. This is going to be nerve-wracking. This is what some of us thought would eventuate at the end of 2 hours of football. It's not what we wanted, because it's a completely different game now. The Uruguay have held on. They look dangerous themselves for large periods. A constant threat from the long high ball, purely because Morales at 1.98 metres is such a handful. And then when coach Jorge Fossati put on Zalaeta, that just doubled the threat, and Australia did very, very well to come out of it unscathed. They had a couple of chances to threaten themselves, but in truth, as well as Australia played, the opportunities they had from corners and set pieces, Wilco, was below par. And they didn't put Uruguay under enough pressure. Too many soft crosses, too many looping free kicks that gave Carini enough time to come out and clear his lines to take the ball. Australia had enough opportunities to cause more trouble than they did. The flip side of that, however, in the first half, when Alvaro Recoba, El Chino, was on the field, he too had a number of chances, and thankfully for us, from the free kicks and set pieces and corners, he didn't capitalise like one might have expected. The game is so finely balanced. After 2 matches of football, on aggregate it is 1-0. The deciding vote is going to be the lottery of penalties. it could go either way, and either team could justly claim the reward. It's just been a fantastic series, separated by 4 days, an international flight, a lot of diplomacy, a lot of pre-match shenanigans, changing the flight schedules, changing the referees. It's all culminated in this quite incredible piece of theatre tonight. And the final act for both teams will be the lottery of the penalty shootout.
And Aaron Carney, the looks on the faces down there, you've been right close to the action. It's been a pulsing night I'm sure you've never experienced in the game.
Nothing like it, Wilco, and I've got to say I've already seen a couple of tears. People just totally overcome by this near miss, this come, this go, and now it's going to come down to the lottery as described by Andy Harper. The thing is, of all the 83,500 people here, and indeed the millions that are listening around Australia, there's got to be pride no matter what happens in the next 20 minutes here, because in the past, Australian national teams have cracked at this level. These guys tonight refused to crack. They had them on the ropes, they just couldn't deliver the knockout punch.
Well, both teams refused to crack, and I think it should be said of both teams. You know, they've been absolutely remarkable. They've both contributed in equal measure to this incredible sporting experience. I defy anyone to say they've been at anything better this year. AFL Grand Finals, Makybe Diva's hat-trick, you name it, they can't top this. For sheer pressure, for sheer will and guts, for sheer technique, in the heat, in the fiery white heat of the furnace, both Uruguay and Australia have been absolutely magnificent.
Well, you'd assume we know the Australian penalty takers: Viduka, Kale, Kuehl, Aloisi, possibly Skoko, but in what order, we don't know. You don't bear thinking about it, because really it's just an added pressure. But we watch the Uruguayans, they're probably without their finest dead ball striker in Alvaro Recoba. I wonder if he's got a flight home. He was that annoyed at being substituted. But who knows, it might have been a masterstroke if they escape here. The Uruguayans, it will be one of the greatest Houdini performances in world soccer, and at the moment it's 50-50. In extra time it was 25-50, because Australia were all over them, really. Even though they had a couple of chances, Australia has had the better of the second half and the better of the match. But now it's going to come down to two men who've been in fine form in goals, Fabian Carini and Mark Schwarzer, who, we'll remember, saved 2 penalties against Canada to get Australia to the Argentina stage of qualifying back in 1993. It was a somewhat incredible performance from Schwarzer to do that. They won the penalty shootout, Australia 4-1 on that occasion. I don't know where omens are coming from or whatever. He's a good shot stopper. Carini is as well. It's how they tackle them. Harry Kuehl is the man with the responsibility of the first one for Australia. And he lines it up. The crowd up. Well, they aren't quiet, they're baying. Kuehl looks poised. Carini stands motionless. Kuehl moves in and scores!
Whoa. Harry Kuehl, as cool as you like. The big occasion for the big player. A good contact and a beautiful penalty. Australia with their nose in front. But this early on it means nothing. I haven't seen many South American teams, Wilco, lose penalty shootouts. But Mark Schwarzer, as you alluded to, came from nowhere in 1993 to save Australia and get them through to a match against Argentina.
Well, now it comes down to Dario Rodriguez, the goal scorer from Saturday, one of the fullbacks. And the left foot is coming up to Schwarzer. He stutters. He goes again. He moves in. Schwarzer saves it. Schwarzer saves. Unbelievable. Mark Schwarzer. Australia with the advantage. The crowd. Just an absolute mountain of emotion. It is a Vesuvius.
I've never heard anything like this in my entire life. Mark Schwarzer with reflexes like a cat. He mightn't come off the line in general play sometimes like you want. But across his own goal line. Fantastic.
Well, Lucas Neal now, and he's 22nd international for Australia, hasn't scored a goal for Australia. He's coming off the short run against Carini. Lucas Neal moves in. Yes! Side netting, would you believe? And a punch of the air. And he claps. And the crowd has gone wild. And they have the advantage still. And Schwarzer comes back again. That penalty that he saved just a metre or so to his left. It wasn't brilliantly taken, but you've still got to save them. He picked the right direction. And now it is Gustavo Varela with the white boots, this diminutive force. And really, you'd back him to get this one in. Surely, Boris Schwarzer going to come up with the improbable again. Here's Varela, moves in. Oh, underneath. And it is in. And Schwarzer picked the right direction. But they're on the board, Uruguay, and on the board is very important at this stage.
Well, he went the right way, Mark Schwarzer, and that's all he can do. It was a good penalty in the end from Varela. And he's got Uruguay off the mark, which will calm their nerves. Australia with their nose in front. Tony Vidmar, his 4th World Cup campaign. A man who left the last stage last year, the last chapter, sodden in tears, places the ball.
And Carini again, hands on hips, just behind the goal line. He places it, takes 5, 6, 7 steps back. There's the veteran Tony Vidmar. He moves in, he strikes and scores! That's 3! Australia! Oh, edging ever closer to the World Cup, but we cannot say it is there. The crowd tells the story on this special night.
Stoyanov now, Wilco. It looks to me Fabian Stoyanov. Well, his pace is irrelevant now. In general play, it's his pace. From the set piece is what counts.
It's 3-1 at the moment to Australia. This will make it 3-2. Stoyanov moves in, yes. Side netting right side. A very positive strike. One done with great authority. And now it's the big shape of Mark Viduka to come up and put Australia in the ascendancy still. Can he hold his nerve, the Australian captain? What a stage. The number 9 sees a sea of green and gold, or he knows it's there. He takes 4, 5, 6 measured paces back. And Carini waits again motionless. He moves in and he misses. Oh, he misses. He doesn't even hit the target. The Viduka. The Duke. Oh, dear. Such agony for Mark Viduka. The man who's played such a heroic role trots back to his teammates. Harry Gill says, don't worry, partner. They've still got to get this one to level it up. Because if they miss this one, it'll still be Australia in the advantage. Oh, it was a poor strike. You'd have to say that, but you couldn't say anything else. A limp drive. The keeper had gone the wrong way. He waited for the keeper to commit. He took his eyes off the target. And here is Jalasheta now with Schwarzer. And Schwarzer saves! He saves! Brilliant! Schwarzer saves again! He went to his left. He went wide. And Mark Schwarzer has saved twice and might have saved his captain.
John Aloisi will go. John Aloisi to catapult Australia into the World Cup.
Here he goes, Aloisi. This to the dream realised. Aloisi, the pace is back. He moves in.
Yes!
Australia's done it! Australia's done it! Oh, yes! Australia is reborn!
Unbelievable!
They have won the penalty shootout! Unbelievable stuff!
Unbelievable stuff! Unbelievable stuff!
Yeah! Cup. The ghosts of 74 are buried. The ghosts of all the years in between are buried. They're back. They're back. And the crowd has just gone on the same decibel for the last 5 minutes. Aaron Carney, can you hear me on the edge of the field?
Yes, I can just hear you, Wilco. There are grown men down here embracing each other. There are people who have never met who are kissing each other. There have been some extraordinary moments in the short history of this stadium, including the hosting of the Olympics. But nothing will top this. I'm getting absolutely mobbed down here. I'm trying to get somewhere near the sideline to talk to somebody. But this is madness, Wilco. You've never seen anything like this. In 40, 50 years, people will be telling their grandkids about the night they were at the Olympic Stadium when Australia qualified for the World Cup.
Oh, it goes on. The baying just goes on. Not one person has left. Extraordinary. And how fitting too. But despite the poor penalty take, it was almost the epitome of the Australian side that Mark Viduka had missed his penalty, that Mark Schwarzer put his arm metaphysically around his teammate and said, "Mate, I'll do it for you." Harry Kewell was first to Mark Viduka, and then John Aloisi came up.
Well, Big Mark Viduka didn't have the happiest of games tonight, culminating in that penalty, but who the hell cares, Peter Wilkins? John Aloisi has joined Jimmy Mackay, the late, great Jimmy Mackay, who sent Australia to Germany 30 years ago with a similar left foot, although not for the penalty. And Mark Schwarzer, the boy from the western suburbs of Sydney, effectively playing in his home ground, has used his left boot twice to save Australia. And John Aloisi, with that beautiful left foot, has thrust Australia all the way to Germany. And here we go!
And Harry Kewell just embracing down on the foot. Harry Kewell, what an extraordinary game from Harry Kewell tonight. There's Joe Skoko. Oh, the whole team is out there. John Aloisi taking the plaudits. And it goes on and it goes on. John Aloisi, this is your moment. And Mark Viduka with a wry smile. Oh, he had a great game over the 2 matches. And down under. 4-2. Australia win the penalty shootout after winning the game in real and extra time 1-0. But after the result over in Uruguay, this is how it panned out. And look, they're still singing and they're hugging, they're embracing fans over on the edge. The soccer team has thrown caution to the wind. Security has gone out the window for unbridled emotion. Tears, pure joy, and a thought too for one of the doyens of Australian soccer upstairs, Johnny Warren, who'd be shining down on this moment. And his heart was in this team, for sure and certain. And other members, past of course in Australian soccer history, we remember Eddie Thompson, the coach of a campaign and a half, and the assistant coach, and Joe Watson, who played against Scotland back in '85. All these players, all the ones living and who've passed on, they've all got a little piece of this night right here. This is extraordinary. And playing people just in front of the commentary box just coming up and raising the fists to the air as we look at the side on the far edge of the field, waving exultantly. You'd think they'd won the World Cup.
Oh, well, they may as well have, Wilco, because you're right. The witch doctor in Mozambique is gone. Johnny Warren saw to that tonight. And whatever, this was never in doubt. We can say that now because the spirit of the great man was guiding. He had his hand on this. There is absolutely no doubt. He's departed this scene just in time for the game to get going in this country. And what better tonic? I have never seen anything like this of an Australian crowd in my life. Tonight, Wilco, an Australian football crowd became a world football crowd. Absolutely magnificent. And I can tell you that the last train is supposed to go at 11:30 and State Rail has got absolutely Buckley's chance of emptying this stadium in time.
Oh, so many styles. Aaron, where are you?
I'm down right on the sideline. I'm doing my best to catch one of the boys as they make their way around, Wilco. I don't think there'll be any hope of seeing me down here. There are absolutely extraordinary scenes. People are grabbing and screaming, we're going to Germany. People of all ages, all ethnic backgrounds, the players I've never seen at any level. Rugby League Grand Finals, AFL Grand Finals, the unbridled joy, the release of 31 years of pent-up frustration, of falling at the final hurdle. Tonight they got taken all the way, and they did not fall. And Andy Harper, you didn't want to go to a penalty shootout.
Oh, well, how cool did they look for the most part? And really the only errant one was unfortunately Mark Paducah, but he almost waited too long as we see the boxing kangaroo flag dropping over the stadium.
Well, I also tell you, Wilco, it's not just us who are eulogising Johnny Warren tonight. That's the 6th banner that's been unfurled, and on the northern end of the ground there's a big 20-metre long banner that says "I told you so," which is a direct quote from the great man himself. He did tell us so. Tonight it's happened, and we're on our way.
Wow, this is a moment to treasure for all here, for all listening, for all watching. A special moment when Australian soccer has truly come of age. It has thrown off the insecurities of world football, of the near misses against Iran, against Uruguay, against Scotland, against Argentina, against Israel, against New Zealand. They are buried. And now they're back on this side. Aaron will just stay with you to see if you can reel in one of those joyous, jubilant Australians.
Yes, Wilco, they're just coming past me now. Harry Kuehl's just... Harry, come and have a chat, Harry! He's clapping and smiling and embracing everyone. The security guards are keeping them away from the sideline. There's quite a crush down here. But here comes Marco Bresciano being carried on the shoulders of a fan or a friend. He's swarmed by photographers. There are people grabbing him, congratulating him. Absolutely incredible emotional scenes. The poor old security guards have got their hands full. He's only about 5 metres from me. I'll see if I can grab him.
Yeah, see if we can get him.
It's absolute mayhem down here. He's still a distance off at the moment. He's meeting a few people. Marco, come and have a chat. As you can hear, I'm not the only one trying. We're struggling. They've gone past us, Wilco. We've done our best.
Well, they keep going. They're going for lap after lap after lap. They could go all night. They could go all night, and we'll no doubt hear from them shortly if we can't get to the players or the coach. Where's Gus? Can we steal into him for a moment or two? We're one of the host broadcasters. We should be having access to the field. I know security's tough, and I know the word is otherwise, but let's get out there.
Well, these guys will keep doing laps for as long as people are here, and the mood people are in, they aren't going anywhere.
Well,
this could go for a week, Wilco.
You've never seen a match end. And for not one usually when you're at a cup final or whatever, the losing crowd goes.
Yeah, no,
look around the stadium.
And even the Uruguay fans have the good enough grace because a lot of them are Australians as well. And, they've got the good grace to join in this too because it means a lot for them as people living in Australia. There's no doubt about that. But this is just absolutely enormous. Absolutely enormous.
And the music goes on and the parade goes on. These brave souls, not a weak member among them tonight. They were heroic.
Yeah, both teams, Wilco, both teams are there. The game never hit a flat spot. That's one of the amazing things. For 2 hours and a bit, the game never went flat. Hammer and tongs the whole way. I've rarely seen a match like it. So much at stake, so much passion by both teams. And in the end, it got to the penalty shootout, and what a way to win a game. Equally, what a way to lose a game. But to the winners, the spoils. It's great stuff for Australia.
Well, they continue on their parade. Our coverage is coming to its conclusion. I'm sure you'd love to stay with us, but the network's been generous enough to allow us an extra hour to broadcast that drama. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed all the action. It's been one of those nights that we'll never forget. No one is here will forget it. We won't forget the Bresciano goal. We won't forget the missed opportunities. We won't forget the driving play of the Australians in the second half. We won't forget extra time when Australia had the better of play there. We won't forget the telling substitutions of Gus Hiddink. We won't forget his cool demeanour throughout the match. And we won't forget the penalty shootout. Harry Kewell, yes. It was Lucas Neal, yes. Tony Vidmar, yes. Mark Viduka will quickly say no. But John Aloisi, yes. And those two extraordinary saves from Mark Schwarzer. History did repeat. On behalf of Andy Harper and Aaron Carney, Peter Wilkins saying, you little beauties. Australia's there.